Gary Nolan has finished his warm-ups to Johnny Bench as the ball goes around the infield. Davy Cash, as always, leads things off for the Philadelphia Phillies. Cash with 3 hits and 9 times up in this series. And again, the Phillies have their backs to the wall. They cannot afford another loss. And should this series go to a 4th game, that would be tomorrow night here. And if it goes a limit of 5, it would be played on Thursday afternoon here at Riverfront. Cash hit .284 during the regular season. Led the National League in at-bats. Nolan has a sign from Bench. The pitch to him is a fastball in for ball 1. And this game is underway. Cash to be followed by center fielder Gary Maddox and then third baseman Mike Schmidt. Cash, a right-handed batter who hangs right out over the plate, waiting on the 1-0 delivery. He swings and hits a high fly ball into center field. Should be a routine play for Geronimo, and it is. 1 away. Cash, a fly ball to center for the game's first out, and as Gary Maddox comes up, we'll check out the Reds defensively for you. At first base, Tony Perez. At second, Joe Morgan. The shortstop is Dave Concepcion. The third baseman, Pete Rose. In left field, George Foster. In center, Cesar Geronimo, and in right, Ken Griffey. Sparky Anderson has not altered his lineup personnel-wise at all in this series. Johnny Bench behind the plate. Maddox, .330 batter during the year. Waiting on the pitch, and it swung on and fouled out of play to the right. Gary has had a couple of hits and 8 trips to the plate, both hits coming in the series opener Saturday night in Philly. But finishing third in the National League in hitting with that .330 average behind the .339 of Billy Madlock and the .336 of our own Ken Griffey. He swings and fouls it straight back and out of play, and Nolan throwing strikes here to the first 2 Philadelphia batters has Maddox in an 0-2 hole with Mike Schmidt kneeling in the Philadelphia on-deck circle. The Reds swept the Pittsburgh Pirates in 3 straight last year, getting them 2 here and then 1 in Pittsburgh and trying to make it 3 straight over Philadelphia. The 0-2 delivery. Maddox takes a breaking ball low and outside. Nolan won a game 4-3 over the Phillies on the 19th of June in Philadelphia, giving up 8 hits and 3 runs in 7 innings, and then lost to them 5-4 on the 24th of June. The 1-2 delivery. That is down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Maddox. Really finished very strong, however. Had a complete game 5-2 victory over Atlanta on the 1st of October, giving that club only 7 hits. Had a 9-5 record here at Riverfront. 2-2 pitch. That's bounced over the mound. Here's Concepcion behind second. Quick throw got him. 2 down. So Cash a fly ball center. Maddox a ground ball out to shortstop. Here's Mike Schmidt. Schmidt has not had a good series, and he, of course, is one of the real keys to the success or failure of this Philadelphia club. He's been up 8 times, has had 1 hit, that an infield hit, and he's driven a run across with a sacrifice fly. But a man who boasts an awful lot of power. Pitch to him, missing outside for a ball. Led the National League once again in home runs. He hit 38 this season to nose out New York Met outfielder Dave Kingman by 1. 1 ball and no strikes with 2 out, nobody on, and Nolan now down to Schmidt at 2 balls and no strikes. Should Schmidt reach here with 2 out, the batter would be left fielder Greg Luzinski. Nolan kicks and throws. Schmidt takes a strike. Right now you've got the home plate area totally covered in shade. The pitching mound is in the bright sunlight. Well, Nolan, after getting down 2-0, gets a call strike in. He works. Schmidt swings. Here's a 1-hopper to shortstop. Concepcion had to fight that one off before playing it. And his throw to Tony gets Schmidt to end the inning. Hard hit ball directly at Concepcion. He fielded the hop head high. And in the inning for the Phillies, 3 up and 3 down. After 1/2 inning of baseball in Game 3 of the League Championship Series, Philadelphia nothing and Cincinnati coming to bat. Well, we go to the bottom of the first inning, and Pete Rose gets a good ovation from this overflow crowd as he stands in to get us underway against a left-hander, 38-year-old Jim Cott. Cott, the fastest worker in Major League Baseball, as I'm sure you well know, posted a 12-14 record during the season with a .347 earned run average. He's all set to go to work on Rose, but Pete's going to make him wait a moment out on the mound, and this might be something you'll see from a number of the Reds batters throughout the course of the game. Ken Griffey in the on-deck circle. As Rose stands in, and Cott's first pitch is in there for strike 1 call. Got back to the plate. Rose takes a fastball high, 1-1. Pete has been the leading hitter in this series. 5 hits and 10 times up, a couple of RBIs. He takes it low, 2-1. Had great success against Cott, the Reds did during the season. 39 hits and 12 earned runs in 25 and 2/3 innings. Here's a bouncing ball to second. Cash plays and throws to Allen, 1 away. That'll bring to the plate right fielder Ken Griffey. In addition to getting 3 hits in the first 2 games and knocking home a run, this man simply showed him how to play right field at Veterans Stadium. We heard more than one person say it was the finest defensive play by a right fielder they have seen in that ballpark this season. The pitch is into him for a strike. Cott delivers, pitch is swung on, chopped third base side of the mound. Cott plays and throws to Allen, quickly 2 down. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Happy birthday, America, from the voice of the world champion Cincinnati Reds in Western Kentucky. This is WFMW-FM Madisonville.
Here's Joe Morgan taking his good time, getting in the batter's box. He's in now, but he's got that left hand held up to indicate time. Now waves the bat around, and here comes Cott with a 2-out pitch. It's tight for a ball. Morgan has not had a hit in 4 times up, but he has walked 5 times in 2 games. This one is swung on and chopped foul at the plate. Defensively for the Phillies, Allen, Cash, Boa, Schmidt in their infield, first, second, short, and third. Luzinski, Maddox, and Johnstone, left, center, and right, and Boone behind the plate. Head high with a heater, 2 balls and a strike. Rose is grounded to second. Griffey has bounced back to the mound. The 2-1 pitch to Morgan, swung on and popped up on the infield. That's going to be played by the second baseman, Davy Cash, in front of second base to make it. Morgan is out, and the Reds are out 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, nobody left. And after 1 complete, the Reds nothing and the Phillies nothing.
More than 200 years.
Neither pitcher experiencing any problem at all in the first inning. Gary Nolan retiring Cash, Maddox, and Luzinski on a fly ball and 2 ground balls. Maddox and Schmidt, rather, the 2 and 3 batters. It'll be Greg Luzinski leading off the second, followed by Dick Allen and then Jay Johnstone. Should this one go to a 4th game tomorrow night, the starting pitchers in that one would be left-hander Steve Carlton for the Phillies. He'd be making his second start. And so, too, would left-hander Don Gullett. Should it go to a 5th game, it would be Jim Lonborg against Pat Zachary, the second game matchups in Philadelphia. Greg Luzinski owns the only home run that a Philadelphia batter has slammed in this series. He hit one a country mile on Sunday afternoon against Pat Zachary that found the upper deck about 4 rows deep at Veterans Stadium. That one of 2 hits he's had in 7 at-bats and has knocked in a couple of runs. A man with awesome power. Outfield playing him deep and around toward left as Nolan sends in the pitch, and that's over for a strike. Now the 0-1 pitch to Greg Luzinski. Swung on and missed. The change had him way out in front. 0-2 the count. Nolan on the back slope of the mound as he turns his back to the plate. Now comes back on top. And the 2-strike pitch. That is in the dirt and knocked down by Johnny Bench. Gary Nolan, not nearly the worker. We're talking in terms of speed now that Jim Cott is, but he is a fast worker by most standards. Cott, of course, is extraordinary in that degree, but as Joe mentioned, we could have a very, very quick game here today if both pitchers are on top of their performance. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and did he get around on it? Looked like he did, and he did. First base umpire Ed Bargo punches out Greg Luzinski, who tried to hold up on the swing but could not.
Marty, that might have been as good a fastball as Gary Nolan has thrown all year. It was an excellent pitch right in on Greg, and had a little mustard on it.
1 away as Luzinski is struck out, and here's Dick Allen. Our plate umpire is Dick Stello. We mentioned Bargo at first, Doug Harvey at second. Terry Tata is the umpire at third base. The pitch to Allen, taken for a strike. On the left field line is Ed Sudol, and on the right field foul line is Jerry Dale. Nolan has retired the first 4 Philadelphia batters to face him. We're 1 out into the top of the second, no score. This one is swung on and hit in the air to center field. Geronimo and Griffey come together, but the Chief will play it, and they're 2 away. Right fielder Jay Johnstone, he has had a bat full of hits in this series. Has been up 5 times, has had 4 hits, and has knocked in a run on a pinch hit single in the 9th inning Saturday night off Raleigh Eastwick to drive a run in, and had 3 hits Sunday afternoon. Left-handed batter. And Nolan trying to make him his 6th straight victim as he serves in a letter-high fastball. Strike 1 is called. The on-deck batter, catcher Bob Boone, with 2 out. Johnstone bunts, third base side. Rose just has to let that one roll, and that's a base hit. Pushed it right down the line. It refused to go foul. Its course was true all the way down the line, so Johnstone with a 2-out bunt single here in the 2nd that keeps things going for Bob Boone, the catcher. Boone 2 for 4, a run batted in. So Gary Nolan gives up the first hit in the game as he'll work out of the stretch with Johnstone taking his lead at first. Check of the runner, the pitch. Boone takes this one just low for a ball. Phillies, of course, won the seasonal series between the two teams, 7-5, but as things unfolded in Philadelphia Saturday night, that had no bearing whatsoever on what might transpire in this series, and so far it has been all Cincinnati. A throw to first base, just a lob throw by Gary, just to let Johnstone know that he knows he's over there. 2 out, 1 on, a 1-0 count on the batter. Pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to left center field. Going back is Foster. Ball hit well. George has run at the fence and makes the catch. He reached up at the 375 marker and picked off a long belt off the bat of Bobby Boone, and that's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in the middle of inning number 2. Cincinnati nothing and Philadelphia nothing. The Reds 580 gift shop is all set for the playoffs. Lots of new and exciting gift items and souvenirs saluting the champion Reds of '76 are now on hand. One brand new item is a distinctive charm. It features a little Reds man carrying the '76 champs flag, and it's just a thing to add to your charm bracelet to commemorate this great season. Charms, tie tacks, a commemorative plate, a big Reds mug, and lots more souvenirs are now on hand at the Reds 580 gift shop, 6th and Walnut, downtown Cincinnati. And by the way, 580 is open until 9 p.m. during playoff week. Tony Perez for openers in the home 2nd. While not yet coming up with a hit in the series, he's had a couple of RBIs. The pitch to him is down and away for a ball. Hit that controversial line drive Sunday. 2 balls and no strikes, and an error was charged against Dick Allen on. 2 runs scored, and the turnaround inning, so to speak, for the Reds. Here's a swing and a foul out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Foster on deck, Johnny Bench to follow him. No score. Reds were out in order in the 1st. Perez swings, hits a line drive to left center. That gets by Gary Maddox. He tried to shoestring it, now recovers to hold Perez to a single. He got his glove on the ball and fortunately took some of the steam out of it. Otherwise, that ball would have been all the way to the fence in center field. But an absolute shot off the bat of Perez, the first Cincinnati hit on the afternoon.
Marty can't hit him much harder than that, and a good play by Maddox. I don't think the ball hit in his glove. It hit on his arm, it appeared to, and a good bounce to the Phillies, I guess we might add.
That'll bring up George Foster, who takes a little bit of time getting in and now steps out as Scott goes into his stretch. Foster trying to get a toe hold with that back right foot, but Scott's all set to pitch, and George's not having any of that, I'll tell you. The Reds will try their best to slow him down if possible. The pitch to the plate is swung on and hit in the air into shallow right field. Ball will be played by second baseman Davy Cash, and he's got it. Johnny Bench with 1 out. Johnny 3 for 9. Couple of singles, a double, and 9 times up. Plate umpire Dick Stello, when Cott's on the mound, is going to be spending a lot of time this afternoon holding that right hand in the air. Bench is ready, and so too is Cott. Pitch is swung on, hit to the left of Bowie. He's got it, goes to Cash. Quick throw to Allen. That's a double play, and that's the inning. Johnny Bench hits into a 6-4-3 job. The Reds are out in the 2nd. No runs, a hit, and after 2 complete. Cincinnati and Philadelphia, no score. In the 3rd inning, a little shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies. Larry Boa will start things off, and here to call the play-by-play for you, Joe Nuxall.
All right, Marty. Larry Baugh is 0 for 5 in the 2 games played thus far in the championship series. He's been on a couple of times with walks. Gary Nolan, through the first 2 innings, has allowed just the 1 single, a bunt single by J. Johnstone with 2 out. In the second inning, he struck out 1, that being Greg Lazinski, leading off the second. Baugh on the year for the Phillies wound up with a .248 batting average, hitting left-handed. He hit .262. Larry with 15 doubles and 9 triples on the year and 49 RBIs. Baugh will be swinging from the left side against the right-hander Gary Nolan. Pete Rose pulled in shallow at third. Tony Perez in a bit at first as Nolan delivers and Baugh swings and hits a 1-bouncer to Morgan. Nolan's going to have to hurry. He gets there in time. Close play. Gary Nolan had to really hustle over there, and apparently Larry Baugh might have stepped on him. And it looks like Gary is all right, but Nolan had to really hustle to get over to the bag as Baugh gets down the line pretty good. And a bang-bang play, first base hit Vargo right on it. Throws up that right hand. A 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 3rd inning for Philadelphia, and here's Jim Cott. Cott had 14 hits and 76 times to the plate this year in the regular season with 8 RBIs, a left-handed batter. Play on Baugh going 4-1. Morgan to Nolan. 1 away as Nolan delivers to Cott. Jim takes it down, low ball. Nolan 1-0 in championship series play. Fine 129 earned run average. The 1-0 to Cott, swung on and fouled straight back. The count evens 1-1. Reds outfield shading Cott around to the left. Nolan checking with bench. Has his sign, and the 1-1 on the way. That swung on to pop up in the infield. Joe Morgan, Dave Concepcion. Morgan calls, and Joe will make the play. Well, so away, and Dave Cash to the plate. Cash leading off the ball game, hit a fly ball to Geronimo in center field. Cash 3 hits and 9 times to the plate coming into this afternoon's game. 1 of them a double. Dave on the season, the regular season's play at .284 with a home run, 56 RBI. Gary into the wind of the pitch. A strike call, a fastball. Right now, the shadows of the lights above Riverfront, just at the mound, a little behind it. In fact, Nolan standing in the shadows. 0-1 the count. Nolan winds and delivers. Cash looks at a curveball against the outside corner. A called strike, and it's 0-2. Nolan looking into center field down behind the pitcher's mound. Now turns, makes his way back to the pitching rubber, and looks into Johnny Bench. Has his sign, the wind, and the pitch. Swung on in the foul tip on a fastball down. Rolling down the third baseline where Pete Rose underhands it to plate umpire Dick Stello. Stello checks it out and gives Nolan another. Now holding, no balls, 2 strikes to Dave Cash. Bobby Wine, the first base coach for Philadelphia. Billy DeMars around at third. Here's the 0-2 again. Fastball swung on and hit into right center field. That'll be a base hit. Griffey cuts it off. Cash makes the turn and holds it first with hit number 2 off Gary Nolan. Cash's 4th hit in the series. Oh, with 2 away and Cash at first base, that'll bring Gary Maddox to the plate. Maddox bounced over the mound and Dave Concepcion fielding it behind second base and throwing him out in the first inning. Cash a good lead at first. Nolan the stretch throws over to first and Cash steps back. Cash stole 10 bases this year, was caught 12 times. Nolan the stretch. And the pitch. Maddox, the bunt out in front of the plate. Bench on it. Throws on to Perez, and that's it. Looked like Maddox had a little indecision in his mind. A curveball, and bunted it right in front of the plate where Bench went out barehanded and threw him out easily. So for Philadelphia in inning number 3, no runs, they get a hit. They're second, no errors, and a runner left on base. And at the middle of the 3rd, the Phils nothing, the Reds nothing.
Tasted so good. Red Fox.
Reds in the third inning will send up the bottom three in the order: Concepcion, Geronimo, and Nolan. Dave Concepcion, 3 hits and 9 times to the plate here in the first 2 games, one of them a double. Dave has struck out a couple of times and has stolen a base. Phillies throwing the ball around the infield and giving it back now, Mike Schmidt to Dave Cash, and he'll have to hold up. Tell you, if it wasn't for the problems of TV, we'd be in the 7th inning already. All right, we're ready to go, and Concepcion takes a slider at the knees, a called strike. Hot back to the plate, and off-speed pitch is under the knees, 1-1. Jim Cott does not fool around. Concepcion away from the plate, now back in. Cott shakes off a couple of signs, and the 1-1 delivery. Swung on, the ground ball. Bullard short has it. He throws on to Dick Allen, 1 away. With 1 out, Geronimo steps in. Cesar, a 125 batting average. He's had a hit in 8 times to the plate. Dick Stello holding up that right hand, giving Geronimo a chance to get set in the batter's box. Cott ready to throw. Cott delivers a pitch, but Stello with that hand still up. Here he comes again. There's a broken bat. Nice play. Mike Schmidt backhands, long throw, and he got him. Geronimo, broken bat, low liner, had Schmidt backhand on the first hop and threw him out easily. 2 out, and Gary Nolan to the plate. Nolan on the year, hitting at 8 hits and 79 times up. Cott delivers, and Nolan swings and lines it foul off to the right. 2 out, the base is empty. Cott back to the plate, inside with a slider, 1-1. Reds with 1 hit off Cott. That was Perez's leadoff single in the second. There's ball 2, fastball that's low. 2-1 the count. Boone out in front of the plate, yelling something to Jim Cott. Now settles back behind the plate as Cott delivers. Nolan looks at it up high. 3-1, and Cott asks for another baseball. Dave Cash, the second baseman, about 10 feet beyond the back line. Pitch to Nolan is ball 4, high and outside. Well, maybe this will get things underway for us. With 2 out. Pedro Bourbon in Sunday's game, if you'll remember, struck out in the 7th inning. But reached as the pitch got away from Bob Boone, reached first base, and the Reds went on to score 2 times in the inning. So Nolan at first base, 2 away. Rose in the first inning, bounced to Cash at second base. He had a 500 batting average coming into this afternoon's game. 5 hits and 10 times up. He swings and fouls. The first pitch well down the right field line and back into the green seats. 0-1. Nolan at first. Cott sets and delivers. Rose swings, bounces it over the middle. There's Cash. He goes to the bag. The force of Nolan, and that's it. In the inning for the Reds, no runs, no hits, no Philadelphia errors, and 1 runner left on base. And at the end of 3, the Phillies nothing, the Reds nothing. Well, the totals for 3 innings look like this. The Phillies, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Reds, no runs, they've had 1 hit, no errors. For Philadelphia, Mike Schmidt will lead it off in inning number 4 for the Phillies. And back to the action, Marty Brenneman.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We've had 3 bang-bang innings of baseball here. The 2 Philadelphia hits owned by Jay Johnstone, a bunt, and Davy Cash a single to right, while the Reds have had the 1 hit by Tony Perez off Jim Cott. So these two guys have served up 3 impressive innings of baseball on both sides of the fence. Schmidt is 0 for 1. He bounced out to shortstop in the first inning. Gary Nolan a little bit late getting out to the mound after being a base runner in the third with a base on balls from Cott. Tonight, the New York Yankees and the Kansas City Royals over in the American League, and of course the 1976 World Series gets underway in the park of the National League champion. Hopefully that'll be right here Saturday afternoon. It'll be Saturday afternoon and Sunday night for the first 2 games in the National League Park, and then after an off day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, all night games in the American League Park. But right now, the name of the game is beating Philadelphia, and wrapping this thing up Sparky Anderson not taking anything for granted, even though he has a 2-0 lead in this series. He'd love to sweep them, but he knows that this Philadelphia team, as we pointed out at the top of the show, will be slightly different today, much more loose. Here's a pitch to Schmidt, and it's in for a strike. Actually, these two pitchers were matched against each other twice during the regular season, Cott and Nolan. Gary's 0-1 delivery. Schmidt takes it inside for a ball. Nolan was a loser on the 24th of June, 5-4, but Cott wasn't involved in that decision, and then neither was involved in the decision here at Riverfront on the 26th of August. So this will be the third time total that these two guys have matched up. That one played out of the dirt on a hop by Bench. 2 balls and a strike. Mike Schmidt, the batter, as we are in the top of the 4th inning, no score. Greg Luzinski on deck. He'll be followed by Dick Allen. Now plate umpire Dick Stello inspecting the baseball that Gary Nolan has been playing with. Likes what he sees and sends it on back to the mound. Schmidt waving the bat around. Takes it high, 3-1. So Gary Nolan a pitch away from issuing a walk to Schmidt, and that's something that Nolan does not do very often. In fact, he issued the fewest walks among starting pitchers this year. Here's a smash and a base hit down the left field line off the 3-1 pitch. Here's Foster playing it on the carom as Schmidt rounds first and goes in standing up with a leadoff double. Well, Mike Schmidt got his pitch and rammed one between Rose and the third base bag for a double to left. So the Phillies have their third hit. And the first scoring threat in the game posed by either club with Schmidt at second base and Greg Luzinski at the plate. Talking about the walks that Nolan gave up, he issued only 27 in 239 innings. Luzinski looks at a strike at the knees. He was a strikeout victim of Gary's in the second, the only strikeout Nolan has had so far. In fact, the only strikeout in the game. Cott has not fanned anyone in 3 innings. Schmidt looking around as he walks off the base. The 0-1, swing and a missed strike 2. So Gary Nolan puts Greg Luzinski in an 0-2 hole. Bill's trying to get Schmidt in from second base with what would be the first run of the game. We're scoreless in the 4th inning. Nolan has a sign from Bench. He kicks and he throws. Luzinski swings and just taps it foul over toward the Philadelphia dugout. Count stays at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield playing the bull exactly as they did in the second inning when he was up for the first time, around toward left and deep. Morgan shading him toward the second base bag while Perez is pulled well off the line at first. That is hit to right field. Here's Griffey. He'll not be able to get it. It's by him and will score Schmidt. Luzinski comes to second, and the throw will not be in time. He slides safely in, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. Back-to-back doubles by Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski as Luzinski goes the other way, and that's something you'll not see him do very often. The Bull with his third RBI in the 2+ games in this league championship series so far, and he leads his club in that department. Now, Manny Sarmiento, a right-hander, will start to loosen up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Johnny Bench has been to the mound to talk with Gary Nolan. Dick Allen waiting patiently to hit. Allen, a fly ball center his first time up. The pitch to him, swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate, and that ball will carry back into the seats. No empty seats in this ballpark today, I'll tell you. And sellouts in Philadelphia. And sell out here in Cincinnati. Nolan working slowly, now comes to the plate. Allen looks at the pitch high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Schmidt with a double down the left field line to begin the inning. Luzinski with a double to right field, making it 1-0. From Nolan to Allen, 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. That is hit to right, and going back on it, Griffey now will come in to make the catch. Luzinski tags. Here comes the throw, and it is going to be offline as Luzinski goes in standing. We'll pause again for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
The 1976 National League playoffs. This is the voice of Madisonville Sports. 93.9 on your dial. WFMW FM, Madisonville.
Philadelphia has scored one here in the fourth inning. They've got a potential second run 90 feet away, and Greg Luzinski in the Cincinnati infield now is going to be playing in the left-handed batting Jay Johnstone, who had a bunt single down the third baseline in the second inning. Nolan's pitch, and Johnstone with a take, a strike. Sarmiento loosening up in our bullpen. Nolan glancing Luzinski's way, delivers to the plate. That's bounced foul off the first baseline. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Jay Johnstone. Well, Nolan will have to do a bit of nifty pitching right here against a guy who had his best year yet in Major League Baseball. .318 batter. More often than not, will put the bat on the ball, and that's exactly what the Phillies are hoping he can do here to get Luzinski in with their second run. The pitch. That is grounded to the right side. Perez has the ball come up on him, knocks it down, plays it, and gets the out. With Luzinski holding at third base, that a mighty, mighty big out. Out number 2, and the hitter will be Bob Boone.
Marty, a pretty good changeup right there by Gary. Really had Jay way out in front. In fact, his bat wound up almost as far as the ball went.
Well, it appeared the ball might have hit in the seam in the AstroTurf at first base. It came up. Perez cradled it in his midsection and knocked it down, and still had plenty of time to retire Johnstone. Now Bob Boone, as the infield drops back to normal depth, takes a strike. Concepcion playing very, very deep for Boone, standing on the back white line at short. Foster had to go to the wall at the 375 marker to bring down this man's blast in the second. The Phils have scored a run on back-to-back doubles by Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski. Luzinski standing at third. They're 2 away in the fourth inning. Stretch the pitch. Breaking ball off the plate, 1-1. Boone ended up on the year hitting .271. He was up over .300 for quite a long time. Hit 4 homers and knocked in 54 runs. That's chopped down the third base line, a foul ball. So Nolan with the advantage on Boone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Run on 4 hits for the Phillies. No runs and 1 hit for Cincinnati. Nolan now back on top of the pitching mound as Boone steps into the batter's box. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boone swings and pops it up outside of first base. Johnny Bench coming over to the near end of the dugout to make the catch. That retires Bob Boone, and that ends the inning. But for Philadelphia, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. After 3 1/2, the Phils won, the Reds nothing. Mid-season sales office. Well, it's a 1-run lead for Jim Cott to work with as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Reds have had only the hit by Tony Perez. Cott has walked 1. Gary Nolan, they have been the only 2 Cincinnati base runners. Ken Griffey, who bounced out to the mound in the first inning, will lead it off. Here's Cott's pitch, and Griffey with a take. Ball 1 is high. Kenny steps out of the batter's box. Cott all cocked and ready to go. And the pitch. Swung on and bounced foul at first base. Just foul and on down past the Reds bullpen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Griffey bunts third base side. Here's Schmidt up quickly with the ball, throwing to first in time. Well, Kenny trying to bunt his way on, but Schmidt playing that bunt attempt to throw him out and bring on Joe Morgan. Morgan a pop out to Davy Cash in the first inning. Joe's still looking for his first hit. He's now 0 for 5 officially. Guy delivers, but Morgan had called time and steps out. And now Jim Cott a little bit upset with plate umpire Dick Stello that he ruled that no pitch. And so too is catcher Bob Boone. Morgan fouls it off to the left. It'll be out of play. Again, Morgan has walked 5 times in this series. He has stolen a couple of bases. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a strike. Morgan with a take, and he's behind at Jim Cott. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joe calling time, now steps away. Jim Cott can be a very great distraction. And Joe Morgan is making sure he's ready. Now he steps away as Cott came to the plate. He was not ready. We saw him do this to Cott in August. Here's a line drive over third, but foul. And it really seemed to unravel Cott. It was in the extra inning wrap-up to the series, the game in which Cott came on to work in relief. He was a losing pitcher. Morgan with a bang to the right side of the infield, but Cash has it on 2 hops, and the throw is in time. Just got him, though. Davy Cash's throw to Dick Allen was high and off to the left. Morgan really coming down that line, turned it into a close play with his speed. 2 outs. Tony Perez, the owner of the only Cincinnati hit, takes a strike. That's an off-speed pitch that stays up high and outside. 1-1. 1-0 Phillies. Bottom of the 4th inning with 2 out. Perez a swing and a foul of the screen. One and 2 the count on first baseman Tony Perez. Cott kicks, throws. Perez takes it low and inside. 2-2. Cott's also an excellent control pitcher. He walked only 32 in 227 and 2/3 innings. Foul ball. Man who has seen World Series competition with Minnesota and playoff competition with that club. Perez fouls a pitch away. He was in a series with the Minnesota Twins way back in 1965 when he had 3 decisions, 1 winning one. And then in the 70 playoffs, he was 0-1. Bouncing ball to the left. Schmidt plays bell tie, throwing to Allen. That's it for Perez, and that's it for the Reds. 3 up and 3 down. We have completed 4. The Phillies 1, the Reds nothing. Philadelphia got to Gary Nolan for a run in the last inning. The only run so far scored in this 3rd game of the 1976 League Championship Series. Larry Boa, Jim Cott, and Davy Cash is how they'll line up in the Philadelphia 5th inning. Reds would like to remind fans that the Cincinnati Automobile Club's worldwide travel agency is planning a December Caribbean cruise, and Pete Rose, Ken Griffey, and Bill Plummer will be on that trip. For more details, call the Cincinnati Automobile Club. Boa is 0 for 1, a pop to Morgan as a leadoff batter in the 3rd inning. Pitch is cut on and fouled straight back and out of here. Boa also is looking for his first hit. He's now been up 6 times. And as always is the case when he plays the Reds, Rose playing very shallow at 3rd. The pitch is taken just outside, 1-1. Larry with an off year hit only 248. The 1-1 delivery. That is hit in the air to left center field. Foster flips the glasses down and runs under it to make the catch. Here's Jim Cott. He, like Boa, popped out to Morgan. First time up today. Philadelphia scored in the 4th inning on back-to-back inning opening doubles by Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski. Nolan to Cott. Swung on and popped up. Probably will be Johnny Bench's ball to play off the first base foul line. Perez is there, and look out! The ball goes off somebody's glove. Now Tony Perez and Johnny Bench with a mix-up. As they bang together off the first base foul line, the ball comes free.
Marty, that's the pitcher's fault, and I think Gary realizes it. He has to be right there and letting them know who's going to take it, either John or Tony. And I don't think Gary was saying anything, and it's really Gary's fault of the mix-up.
Well, they've scored an error on Tony Perez. Here's a pitch to Cott, taken on the inside corner for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Not a bad hitting pitcher by any means. He has 14 career home runs to his credit. Off-speed pitch is low. Cott started to go, held up in time. Third base umpire Terry Tata saying no, sir, he did not get around on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nolan will try to put him away with this pitch, but misses down and in. 2-2. Talk about a physical specimen, boy. At 37 years old. I think we said 38 earlier. Cott will be 38 on the 7th of November. 6'5", 215 pounds. He was born in Zeeland, Michigan. Now makes his home in Apopka, Florida. And there is not an ounce of flab on this guy. He fouls it away. He is the winningest active pitcher in Major League Baseball. 12 wins he had in 1976 give him 247 career wins. He hits this one in the air, back of the plate, but Bench, as he races back to the screen, will not have a shot at that one. Cott with a holding count of 2-2. With Davy Cash on deck, 1 out. Nolan has been touched for 4 hits and a run. Cott waiting, and a pitch. That is hit to right field for a base hit. Well, the error turns out to be a costly one in terms of an out being made. Instead of Cott being retired on the foul pop, he gains a reprieve and makes the most of it with a single to right field. Now we'll go back to the top of the Philadelphia batting order for Davy Cash. Cash is fly to center. He is single to right. Ball to him. Scoreboard stumper today. Who holds the Cincinnati club record for most career victories by a pitcher? With 1 out, Jim Cott is at first base. Perez plays behind him and off the bag. Cash grounds it foul between the bag and the coaching box at first. Level account to the Philadelphia second baseman, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nolan trying to wrap it up for the Reds in 3 straight. Philadelphia trying to bounce off the match after losing 2 games in their home park. Ground ball to shortstop. Here's Concepcion to Morgan. Here's Morgan to Perez. That's a double play. Second twin-killing turn in the game. First by the Cincinnati infield. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Nobody left, and in the middle of inning number 5, it remains Philadelphia 1 and Cincinnati nothing.
Many American beers trace their roots back to Germany, more specifically to a family that came from Germany in the 19th century and started their own brewery. Now, at first, they were very much a family affair. There was someone in the brewery every day seeing to it that the quality remained high. And that's how those traditions of care in brewing came to be. But today, you'll find most breweries are no longer owned by these original families. And the family tradition of care is fast disappearing. Well, let us tell you about one family that still works in their brewery every day. It's the Stroh family. And they take as much care in brewing Stroh's beer for the beer lovers of this generation as they did 200 years ago. Stroh's beer. There's still a family tradition behind it.
One beer lover to another.
The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan. Family brewers for more than 200 years.
Well, the man who holds the Cincinnati Reds club record for most career victories, the late Eppa Rixey, who won 179 games for the Reds from 1921 until 1933. And, of course, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast today, Mrs. Eppa Rixey, wife of the late, great Reds pitcher, is on hand and threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Well, Jim Cott, after wiping himself dry in the dugout, working up a sweat, back on the mound now, just got there and is loosening up chores to Bobby Boone. It's going to be Foster, Bench, and Concepcion. Hopefully more for the Reds here in the 5th inning. Saw these two clubs slug it out during regular season play, but that so far is not happen in this series. Of course, we still have not had a pitcher go the distance. The longest stint by a pitcher in the regular season and a carryover into the playoffs was the 8 innings of work that Don Gullett turned in on Saturday. Cott went into the 8th inning of an earlier game here against the Reds, but was not able to finish. And the regular season was simply a hitter's 12-game series, but we've seen some fine pitching, predominantly from Cincinnati hurlers so far here. Foster pops to second base. He's 0 for 1. Cott has pitched 4 innings of one-hit baseball and leads 1-0. Got into the plate. Foster with a swing and a high fly ball into right center. Gary Maddox racing over. Johnstone calling. Maddox calling, and Johnstone stayed there to play it. 1 away. Bring up Johnny Bench, who hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the second. Of course, we saw the Reds no-hit it for 5 innings Sunday by right-hander Jim Lonborg, only to eventually emerge a 6-2 winner in that game. 1-0 Philadelphia in the bottom of the 5th. Bench swings and fouls to the screen, a strike. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Always a festive air in Cincinnati for the playoffs and the World Series. 2 balls and a strike. Got banners up all over town, downtown area, a hubbub of activity, and well, we hope that'll also be the case come Saturday and Sunday of this week. Bench ahead, 2-1. Cott having trouble picking up Boone's sign. Now gets it. Bench with a swing and another foul ball. Johnny apparently a little bit upset with himself. Maybe that was the pitch he was looking for. 2-2. Cott rolling along with a one-hitter. Misses, and boy, he wanted that one. Pitch a bit out away from Bench, and in the eyes of Dick Stello, it was not in the strike zone. So 3-2. Payoff pitch. That is a high fly ball. Left center field. Backpedaling Maddox. Shielding the sun with his glove and makes the catch. 2-out batter will be Davey Concepcion. David bounced out to Boa as a leadoff hitter in inning number 3 this afternoon. High fastball for ball 1. Check swing, 2 balls and no strikes. Schmidt now backing up a couple of steps at third. A check swing foul on a pitch up and in to Davey. 2-1. Well, Concepcion now calling time as he checks out things with third base coach George Scherger. In the box, levels a bat. Here's a pitch. Swung on and a bouncing ball to short again. Boa digs it out and comes up throwing, and that's the inning. The Reds are out 1-2-3 for the 3rd time in 5 innings in this game. And at the end of 5 complete, it's a Phil's 1, the Reds nothing. With Joe Nuxhall, Marty Brenneman back at Riverfront Stadium here in Cincinnati as we move on to the top of the 6th inning. Phillies getting a run in the 4th inning, and that has been the extent of the scoring. Right-hander Gary Nolan against left-hander Jim Cott. And except for that 1 inning that Nolan had to suffer through, it has been excellent pitching by both starters. To lead things off for the Phillies, it'll be center fielder Gary Maddox. Has twice been thrown out on balls hit in the infield. A ground ball to short in the 1st, and in the 3rd tried to butt his way aboard. And was gunned down Johnny Bench to Tony Perez. So Maddox is 0 for 2 today and 2 for 10 in this series. Right-handed batter waiting on Gary Nolan. Pitch is cut on, foul ball. That'll find its way to the Philadelphia dugout. Well, the American League Series now is short of going no less than 4 games. The Yankees win the 1st when Kansas City came back to take the 2nd one Sunday night. Here's a grounder to short. Concepcion on to 1st. 1 away. Mike Schmidt, who after grounding out to shortstop in the first inning, hit a 3-1 pitch by Pete Rose for a two-bagger leading off the fourth inning and came in to score on the Luzinski double to right. Strike is called. Mike Schmidt, we pointed out, led the league again in home runs this year with 38. The third straight year he's done that, becoming the first National League player to lead the league in home runs 3 straight years since Ralph Kiner did it. Breaking ball, hammered over third for a base hit. Let's see if Schmidt will try to go to second. Foster comes up firing, and Mike will have to settle for a single as he took the big turn and quickly scampers back into the bag. So Schmidt 2 hits and 3 times up. The Phillies now total 6 in the game. The hitter will be Luzinski, who is 1 for 2, that double to drive in the 1 run of the game. I'd like to send along our best today to Reds fans listening on WGNT in Huntington, West Virginia, WBBY in Columbus, Ohio, and WKPT in Kingsport, Tennessee. Rolling out of the stretch with Schmidt leading at first base, pitches high, throw down to first, but Schmidt's in easily. I imagine Mike's got a whole lot of supporters up from Dayton witnessing his play today. Infield looking for the ground ball. The 1-0 to Luzinski misses outside, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. 1 man out. Maddox grounded to short to begin the inning, and Schmidt has singled to left. When the top of the 6th, the pitch. That is hit to right field, curving toward the seats, and will drop in a foul ball. Manny Sarmiento goes down to once again begin loosening up. Now, Gary Nolan is scheduled about second in the bottom of the 6th inning. And with Sarmiento throwing, it could possibly mean, 1, you'll either see a pinch hitter for Nolan should Geronimo reach, or 2, Sparky a bit concerned about the way Gary's working here in the 6th inning. Fly ball hit well to right center field. Geronimo digging toward the warning track, looks up, makes the catch. Running catch by Cesar Geronimo on the warning track in right center. Two away, and he had to go a long way for that ball. Here's Dick Allen, who has fly to center and fly to right field. Smith with a lead. Nolan with a check of him and delivers high and tight to Allen. A ball. Focal point of much of the controversy on this Philadelphia club this season. But a man with, despite what you think of him, some talent to play the game. Schmidt goes, pitches foul. Well, Mike Schmidt running on the 1-0 pitch to Allen. Allen with a foul off the end of the bat. 1 ball and 1 strike. J. John Stone swinging the bat. He'll be up next. Sarmiento continues his deliberations in the Reds bullpen as the Phillies lead Cincinnati 1-0 in the 6th. Allen takes this one down and outside as Vince makes a pickup out of the dirt. Ball 2 and strike 1. Give Allen a lot of room along the left field foul line and also in left center, despite the fact that he is a right-handed batter. Geronimo shading him toward the right center field gap, and Griffey playing him deep and straight away and right. Now Bench and Nolan want to get together as Gary signals for John to come on out there. So Dick Allen waiting at the plate with a count of 2 balls and a strike. Meeting breaking up. Gary in almost perpetual motion today. Walking around that mound, windmilling his right arm. Now studies a sign flashed by Bench. Comes set, throws to first. Schmidt is back. Now redirecting his attentions back to the plate. The 2-1. Missing outside, ball 3. Gary has given up 6 hits in as many innings, but to his credit, the Phillies have been able to get to him for only 1 run. See if Schmidt's going to be running. He is. 3-1 is throw down to second base. Did he swing on that pitch or not? Now let's see what the third base umpire, or first base umpire says. Ed Bargo says no. It looked like Allen might have gotten around. Bench threw down to second, but it's ball 4. So the Phillies have 2 men on with 2 out to bring up Jay Johnstone. Nolan has allowed his first walk. And now a timeout is called. Joe Morgan said something to second base umpire Doug Harvey. And is running into the dugout apparently to get a new glove, but let's see if that's the case.
Artie's going to change spikes. I don't know if he might have broke a cleat or what, but he saw the bat boy with a new set of shoes for him, and what happened to those, we don't know. But nevertheless, Joe's going to put on some new, what do they call them in Spanish, zapatos? Pretty good, huh?
That's not too bad. I am duly impressed.
That was a deep guess.
Well, Gary will stay loose by throwing to Bench, and it didn't take Morgan long to get those new shoes on. Jay Johnstone, the hit story on him. A bunt single in the second. He grounded out to Tony Perez in the 4th inning. So Schmidt at second base, Allen at first. Johnstone with a take on the pitch low. Ball 1. Billy DeMars and Bobby Wine, the coaches for the Phillies. DeMars third, Wine first. Foul to the screen, 1-1. DeMars shouting out something to the runner at second base, Mike Schmidt. So Nolan trying to get the final out of this 6th inning and keep the deficit for Cincinnati right where it is at 1. Johnstone and the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Fastball inside, ball 2. Bench bluffing a throw down to second base as Concepcion was sneaking in behind Schmidt. Nolan with a pause. He delivers. Johnstone takes this one inside. All of a sudden, Gary Nolan having a bit of a problem finding that strike zone. He walked Dick Allen on a 3-1, and now he's 3 balls and a strike on Johnstone. Should he walk, it would be Bob Boone up with the bases loaded. And Johnstone already on the 3-1 pitch. It swung on and popped up back of the plate, but no play for Johnny Bench. So Gary Nolan with a new baseball and a count of 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 men out in the inning. Schmidt will be on the way to third. Allen will be heading toward second. Nolan taking his time on the back of the mound, rubbing up the baseball. Oh, a big pitch coming up right here for Nolan and the Reds, Johnstone and the Phillies. 3-2 delivery. That is fouled away again. I will pause for station identification on the Reds Baseball Network.
With 30,000 watts of power, this is WFMW-FM Madisonville, voice of the world champion Cincinnati Reds in Western Kentucky.
Holding count of 3 balls and 2 strikes on left-handed batting Jay Johnstone. The runners again on the move. Payoff is inside and low, and the bases are loaded. Uncharacteristic for Gary Nolan. But he has given up back-to-back 2-out walks to Allen and Johnstone to bring up Bob Boone. Boone had a fly ball that Foster caught in deep left center in the second and then popped out to Johnny Bench for the final out in that Philadelphia scoring 4th. will go from the stretch. High and inside. A ball. Now Larry Shepard is going to come to the mound, our pitching coach, and we'll be joined there by Joe Morgan.
Artie, Gary seems to be limping a little bit. I don't know if he's full of muscle or what, but seems to be limping after each delivery for some reason. Whether he's having a problem with the leg, we really don't know. It looks like Shep looked like he might have pointed to his left leg, but we're not really sure of it. Now they're going to talk to plate umpire Dick Stello and possibly give Gary a couple of throws to see if everything is all right. Stello is just now arriving at the mound, and we don't know whether it might have gone back to when Larry Boa in the third inning apparently stepped on Nolan's foot, his right foot possibly, and Sparky now making his way out, and we might see Manny Sarmiento. And we're going to see Manny Sarmiento come on here with a count of ball, no strikes to face Bob Boone, and Manny jogging in from the bullpen down the right field line. We have a break in the action here at Riverfront. The Phillies leading it by a score of 1-0, and we'll be back after this word.
The big red machine is rolling down the street. Big red smoke.
Manny Sarmiento in relief of Gary Nolan. Gary apparently suffering a leg injury or an ankle injury and having to leave the ball game here with a count of ball, no strikes to Bob Boone. Sarmiento making his first appearance in the championship playoff in the season. Manny won 5 and lost 1, appeared in 22 ball games. A fine 205 earned run average. He completes his warm-ups. Here's Marty.
Okay, Joe, it hurts a 1-0 count against Bob Boone. That's the pitch that Gary Nolan threw before having to leave. So Manny to the plate, and Boone with a swing, and he pops him in the air. Left center field. Geronimo is there, and that is the inning. One pitch, and Sarmiento gets us out of hot water. No runs, 1 hit with 3 men left on. After 5.5, the Phillies over the Reds 1-0. Well, it remains a frog strangler, 1-0. Phillies lead the Reds. We're in the home 6th inning. And it'll be Cesar Geronimo, Manny Sarmiento, and Pete Rose. Jim Cott, well, he's allowed a hit in 5 innings. That's a single to Tony Perez in the second. Geronimo is 0 for 1. He was robbed in the third on a broken bat. Soft tailing line drive that Schmidt backhanded and got the out on. Here's a pitch to the Chief, and he swings and fouls off the left field line and out of play. Attendance here today, 55,047. 55,47 on hand. Geronimo swings and misses, strike 2. Reds have been totally handcuffed by this guy. Check swing on a pitch off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sarmiento kneeling on deck. Fastball is up. 2-2. Cott, not a strikeout pitcher. You're going to make contact more often than not against him. He gave up more hits, 241, than innings pitched. 227 and 2/3. And on the 2-2, he bounces Geronimo foul to Russ Nixon in the first base coaching box. Scott ready. Geronimo strikes out swinging on a high inside fastball. That's the first strikeout for the Philadelphia left-hander in the game. Sarmiento will hit for himself. First pitch, and that's down and in for a ball. Pitching line on Gary Nolan, 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, a run with a strikeout and 2 walks. Call strike. Pitcher against pitcher in the 6th inning. Bouncing ball is foul off to the right. That hits the top of the Reds' dugout and kicks well back up into the seats. Joe gave you the impressive numbers on this young rookie. 5-1 a record, 2.05 at ERA. Just missed the inside corner at the letters. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Really gave the Reds relief corps a shot in the arm when they needed it. Grounder to second. Big hop will be played conveniently by Cash, and Dave throws him out. Well, the crowd getting excited now about Pete Rose's appearance at the plate. He's grounded to second twice. First player in the history of the National League ever to lead the league in runs scored in doubles 3 consecutive years. How about one of those 2 base hits right now? Check swing, a strike is called. One nothing Phillies, home 6th inning. Rose looks this one into Boone's mid. It's down and into him, 1-1. Got some activity in the Philly bullpen. Right-hander Wayne Twitchell. Here's a grounder again to second. Rose playing Pepper with Cash. The side retired on the throw to Dick Allen. The Reds are out 1-2-3. We move to the final 3 innings of action, and the score stays Philadelphia 1 and Cincinnati 0. Manny Sarmiento will be beginning his first inning after coming on to retire Bob Boone in the 6th inning to leave the Phillies with the bases loaded. It's going to be Larry Bowa to lead off, and back to call the action for you. Here's Joe.
All right, Marty. Bowa 0 for 2. He grounded to Morgan. Morgan throwing to Nolan in the 3rd inning when Gary might have pulled the groin. Then in the 5th inning, hit a fly ball to Foster in left field. Ron Reed starts throwing down in the Philadelphia bullpen. Manny Sarmiento came into the game in the 6th inning with a count of ball, no strikes to Bob Boone, threw 1 pitch, and Boone sent it into center field to Geronimo to retire the side. Bowa, left-handed batter, switch hitter. Jim Cott on deck. Sarmiento delivers and slow and inside the ball. Phillies leading 1-0. They've had 6 hits in the ball game, all of them coming off Gary Nolan. Gary walked 2, struck out 1. The 1-0. That's high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Bowa. Rose in shallow at 3rd. Bowa, a fine bunter. Manny, the 2-0. That's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Larry Bowa, leading off here in the 7th inning. Bowa without a hit in the championship playoffs so far. He's 0 for 8. There's a strike, 3-1. The outfield about straight away to Larry and pulled in a bit. Sarmiento's 3-1 delivery. Strike 2. Full count now to Larry Bowa as Pedro Borbon heads to the Reds bullpen to start throwing. Sun right now, right in the pitcher's eyes on the mound. And he has the sign from bench and the payoff on the way. That's low and inside, ball 4. Now Larry Bowa draws a leadoff walk here in the 7th against Manny Sarmiento. And Bowa led the Phils in stolen bases this year with 30. Jim Cott will be the batter. Cott popped out to Morgan in the 3rd inning, and then after his pop-up was mishandled by Perez and Bench. In the 5th, single to right. He owns 1 of the 6 hits in the ball game. Cott, a left-handed batter. Bowa off the bag at first. Sarmiento has his sign to stretch. And Scott squares to bunt and does first base side. Perez picks it up, throws to Morgan, and moving on to second base is Larry Bowa. So a good bunt by Jim Cott. Play going 3-4. Bowa now at second base with 1 away, and Dave Cash to the plate. Cash 1 for 3. Fly ball to center in the 1st, single to right in the 3rd, and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 5th. Ron Reed in the Philadelphia bullpen. Pedro Borbon in the Cincinnati bullpen. Sarmiento the stretch. Checks Bowa at second, delivers, and Cash looks at it, a strike on the outside corner. Reds outfield for Cash around to the right. A lot of room down the left field line. Sarmiento to the belt. His pitch. That's inside. 1-1. Cash was up 666 times this year. That led the National League. A 1-1 on the way. Swung on and hit well to left field. Going back, Foster has room, and at the edge of the warning track, hauls it in. Dave Cash hit the ball pretty good up left field way, and George makes the easy catch. 2 away now, and Gary Maddox to the plate. Maddox 0 for 3. Grounded to short in the first inning, and then a bunt attempt in the third in front of the plate where Bench picked it up and threw him out, and then grounded to Concepcion again in the sixth. A 2 away now. Sarmiento delivers, and Maddox swings, pulls it down the left field line, a base hit. That'll score Boy easily. Maddox on his way to second. He's in, standing with a double, and the Phils lead it 2-0. For Maddox, his first extra base hit of the series, and his first RBI. Larry Shepard now going to the mound to talk with Manny Sarmiento. Mike Smith, the batter, and Mike 2 for 3 after grounding to short in the first, double to left in the fourth, and single to left in the sixth. He scored the first Philadelphia run. Shepard, a short meeting, now heads back to the Reds dugout. Borbone throwing in the Reds bullpen, and Ron Reed continues to throw in the Philadelphia bullpen. Maddox at second, 2 away. Sarmiento to stretch, and the pitch, and Schmidt swings, ground ball fair down the left field line. That'll score Maddox. Foster playing it down in the corner, and now up with the ball as Smith coasts into second base with his third base hit of the ball game, and here comes Sparky. Well, Mike Smith, 3 straight base hits now, 2 doubles, and an RBI, and the Phils lead it 3-0. Back-to-back doubles, Maddox and Mike. That'll bring on Pedro Borbone. Manny Sarmiento works 1 inning. He's up 2 hits, walked 1, and 2 runs, both of them earned. Borbone coming on, and this is Pedro's second appearance in the championship playoffs. Pedro worked 4 shutout innings in Philadelphia Sunday, allowed 4 hits and walked 1. So the Phils picking up 2 here in the 7th inning and lead 3-0. Phillies now with 8 hits in the game. The Reds have had just 1, and that was Tony Perez. Second inning single, and that's been it. Reds have really not hit a ball hard off Jim Cox to this point, other than Perez's single to center. Pedro Borbone is having some neck problems, but certainly pitched well in Philadelphia Sunday. He'll be facing Greg Lazinski, and Greg 1 for 3, struck out in the second, double to right in the fourth to drive in the first Philadelphia run. Then a fly ball to deep right center field that Geronimo hauled in a step away from the fence. Borbone completes his warm-up. 3-0, Philadelphia leading. Pedro on the season. Sets and delivers now, and Lazinski looks at it down low, a ball. Borbone won 4 and lost 3 on the season with a .335 earned run average. He appeared in 69 ball games. The 1-0. Lazinski swings and pops it foul. Back and then over our head, 1-1. Outfield for Lazinski straight away. Rose very deep at third. Concepcion standing on the back line at short, as is Morgan at second. The pitch. That's strike 2. Pedro coming in with a breaking pitch. 1-2 to count. 2 away, and the Phils have scored 2 here in the inning. The pitch. That's just high. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phils scoring the runs after 2 are out. A walk to Bohr, sacrificed by Cott. Cash, a fly ball to left, and then the doubles by Maddox and Smith. Pitch swung on, hard ground ball. Concepcion has it, throwing on to Perez, and that's it. But in the inning, Philadelphia gets 2 runs on 2 hits of no errors and 1 runner left on base, and at the middle of the 7th, the Phillies 3, the Reds nothing. Now the Reds trail the Phils 3-0 as they bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Jim Cott has been very tough on him this afternoon to this point. With that 1 base hit, 1 other base runner, that being Gary Nolan, who walked in the 3rd inning. Since then, Cott has retired 10 straight batters. Jim has struck out 1, has walked 1, the 1 hit belonging to Tony Perez, and that's coming in the 2nd inning. Manny Sarmiento in relief of Gary Nolan, giving up 2 in the top of the inning. Ken Griffey, Joe Morgan, Tony Perez, and more we hope here in the 7th inning. Griffey 0 for 2. He tried to bunt in the 1st inning. Cott fielded it and threw him out, and then grounded to 3rd in the 4th. Cott delivers, Griff swings, bouncer up the middle, backhanded to Cash, is thrown, not in time. Kenny Griffey, with that great speed, beats the throw by a half step, and we got something going. 2nd hit for the Reds off Jim Cott. Dave Cash backhanding the ball, bracing and getting plenty on the throw to Dick Allen, but not quite in time. 2nd hit, and the Riverfront crowd comes alive. Joe Morgan at the plate, and Cott, not at all looking at plate umpire Dick Stello, is standing there with that right hand in the air, and now Morgan is all right, and Cott the stretch. He delivers, and Morgan swings and misses. 0-1. Griffey off the bag at first. Cott ready. He delivers. That's just off the plate, and the count evens 1-1. Cott to the belt. His pitch taken high. 2 balls to strike. Ron Reed throwing in the bullpen, and should Morgan walk, we'd almost bet that Danny Murtaugh would make a change with the middle of the lineup all right-handed. There's ball 3. 3-1 now to Joe Morgan. Hot sets and delivers. That's strike 2. Full count to Joe. The set, the pitch. That's swung on and foul. Joe 0 for 2, and he popped out to Cash and is grounded to Cash at 2nd base. Morgan in the series looking for his first hit, and that's high and inside the next pitch, and the first 2 are on. Now let's see what Danny Ozark does now. 2nd walk issued by Jim Cott. Ozark on his way to the mound, and we'll pause for station identification. This is the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
Happy birthday, America, from the voice of the world champion Cincinnati Reds in Western Kentucky. This is WFMW-FM Madisonville.
Well, as we expected, Danny Ozark's going to make the change. He's going to make 2 changes. Bobby Tolan, I think, will go into the game replacing possibly Greg Lazinski in left field, and that's going to be true. As Bobby makes his way out to left, Lazinski comes out of the lineup. And, of course, Tolan will be hitting 9th in the lineup, and it will be Ron Reed in relief of Jim Cott. So Cott worked 6+ innings, gave up just 2 hits, walked 2. And Ron Reed coming on. Cott did an excellent job for 6 innings. The Reds getting just 1 hit off him, and he retired 10 straight batters before Ken Griffey's leadoff single here in the 7th. And then the walk to Joe Morgan. So Reed will be facing Tony Perez when he completes his warm-ups. This is the 2nd appearance for Reed in the championship playoffs. He worked 2 2/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 1. That was in Sunday afternoon's ball game. Reed, on the year, had a great year out of the bullpen for Philadelphia. He led the club in saves with 14. He appeared in 59 ball games, winning 8 and losing 7 with a .246 earned run average. Started 4 times for Phillies, completing 1 game. He worked 128 innings, allowing just 88 hits, striking out 96 and walking 32. So some great credentials or Mr. Reed. All right, he completes his warm-ups. We got Griffey at second base, Morgan at first base. Nobody out. We need 3 to get even. Perez, well, Tony finally getting his first hit of the championship playoffs. That in the second inning. He's driven in 2 runs. Reed has a sign from Boone. The stretch and the pitch. That's swung on and a foul tip into the mid of Boone. 0-1. The stretch by Reed. Checks the runners, delivers. That's a slider swung on and bounced foul to the Cincinnati dugout. Ron Reed quickly out in front of Tony Perez. No balls, 2 strikes. Now Tug McGraw is heading to the Phillies bullpen to start throwing. Left-hander. The 0-2 on the way. Perez swings and loops it foul down the right side and back into the seats. Out holding 0-2. Morgan at first, Griffey at second with nobody out. Philadelphia on top 3-0. Perez away from the plate, now steps back in. Reed checks with Boone, has his sign, looks back at Griffey, delivers. Tony swings, base hit, center field, had a score, Griffey, and on his way to third is Morgan, and Maddox goes to second base. Well, the Reds are on the scoreboard. It's a 3-1 game. Runners at first and third, nobody out, and George Foster the batter. That run size to Jim Cott. Reds now with 3 hits in the game. Perez at first base. Foster 0 for 2. George has popped the second, a fly ball to right. Reed delivers. Foster swings and pops it foul. Off to the right. Back into the blue seats. 0-1. George led the major leagues in RBIs this year with 121. Reed to the belt. He delivers. That's high and inside, and the count evens 1-1. Johnny Bench on deck. 3-1 to score. Morgan at third. Perez at first. Reed, a slow worker, has his sign. He delivers. That's a breaking pitch swung on and missed by George, and it's a ball, 2 strikes to George Foster. One and 2 to Foster as Reed has the sign, the stretch, checks the runners, delivers. Fastball is swung on and popped foul. Out of play again to the right. Inning started off with Griffey getting an infield single over the mound. Cash fielding and throwing, but not in time. Morgan walked. Perez singled to center to score Griffey. Morgan moving around to third. A 3-1 game. The go-ahead run at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit into right field deep. Going back, Johnstone, and he has room. Middle of the warning track, makes the catch. Perez tags, but he'll hold up as Morgan jogs in from third base, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Foster hit the ball good out to the right side to score Joe Morgan. So a 3-2 game now. Perez at first base, 1 away, and Johnny Bench to the plate. And a meeting at the mound. Boone, Bohr, Schmidt, and Reed all at the mound talking. Oh, the Reds applying the pressure to the Phillies. That takes care of Jim Cott for the afternoon, and Cott worked 6 innings, allowing 2 hits, striking out 1, walking 2. 2 runs, both of them earned. All right, Reed ready with his first pitch to Bench. That's a change swung on and missed, a snap throw to first, but Perez steps back. Phillies 3, Reds 2, 7th inning. Perez at first base, 1 away. 0-1 the count to Bench. Reed sets and delivers. Fastball misses low and outside. 1-1. Dave Concepcion on deck. Phillies getting their runs. 1 in the 4th, 2 in the top half of this inning. The pitch. Low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Johnny Bench. Well, the crowd sitting quietly most of the afternoon, but certainly have come alive here in the inning. 2-1 the count. Reed delivers. Bench takes ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Johnny Bench. Ollie Eastwick throwing in the Cincinnati pen. Tug McGraw and the Phillies. The 3-1. That's ball 4 down low, and Tony Perez moves on to second base, and Reed not happy with that call as Bob Boone again heads to the mound to talk with Ron Reed. And now the tying run at second base. A go-ahead run at first. Concepcion will be the batter as Boone is still at the mound talking with Reed. Cash comes in, and he has a quick word with Ron Reed. All right, we're ready to go. Dave Concepcion at the plate. The pitch to him, he takes a strike, a fastball. Dave 0 for 2, both times up, has grounded the ball at shortstop. Read the stretch. The pitch. Swung on and popped up. Dave Cash, step behind the line, makes the play, and pull away now, and it'll be up to Cesar Geronimo, and let's see what Danny Murtaugh or Danny Ozark might do here. Looks like Reed will stay in there. Oh, with 2 out, Perez at second, and Bench at first. Danny Ozark heads to the mound. And we'll see what Danny will do with Geronimo at the plate. Ozark just now arriving at the mound, and certainly no indications that he might take Reed out here, and I don't think he will. McGraw left-handed throwing in the Phillies bullpen, but it looks like Ron Reed will stay in the ballgame. The meeting breaks up. Ozark heads back to the Philadelphia dugout, and Reed will be facing Cesar Geronimo. Chief 0 for 2 has grounded to third and is struck out. Reds need 1 to get even. It's a 3-2 score. Phillies leading. Reed ready to work to Geronimo. The stretch and the pitch. That's high and outside the ball. A 1-0 on the way. Geronimo swings on it and fouls it straight back. Count evens, a ball, a strike. Geronimo. Perez off the bag at second, Bench at first. Reed to the belt, he delivers. That's a check swing and it's low. 2-1 the count. Well, if the Chief can get on, we'll certainly see probably Danny Dreesen hitting for Bourbon, maybe Mike Long. Here's the 2-1. That's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Geronimo. 2 away, 2 runs in. All right, Reed the stretch. Here's the pitch. That's strike 2 call. Count full now, so the runners will be on the move. Perez and Bench. Tony at second, Johnny at first. Bourbon on deck. And the crowd very tense. The pitch. The runners goes. It's swung on and looped down into left field. Cohen coming hard. He can't get to it. It bounces by, and here comes Bench. And the Reds lead it. Geronimo on his way to third. Mike Smith having problems picking the ball up, and he's there. And the Reds lead it 4-3. The crowd's happy. calls it on the feed here, and a few Philadelphia fans sitting down. Well, the Reds have scored 4 times here in the inning, and Mike Lum is going to the plate to hit for Babone and try to get Geronimo in from third base. That'll be a triple credited to Cesar Geronimo, 2 RBIs, and it's a 4-3 ball game. All right, Mike Lum will hit for Pedro Borbon. This will be Mike's first appearance in the championship playoffs. So, looping fly ball down into left field. Bobby Tolan misplaying the ball bouncing by. Mike Schmidt finally caught up with him. By that time, 2 runs had scored, and Geronimo went into third base sliding with Dave Cash covering there. Geronimo at third. The stretch and the pitch. Lum takes a strike. Here's the pitch. Mike swings on it and fouls. 0-2. Now, Bobby Tolan said he wanted to help the ball club, and he certainly helped us. All right, the 0-2 delivery. Lum swings and a ground ball down in the Cincinnati bullpen. Count holding 0-2. Read the stretch. The 0-2. Lum takes high and outside. A ball, 2 strikes to count. Lum hitting for Pedro Borbon. Ollie Eastwick will be the pitcher in the 8th inning. The pitch on the way. Mike swings and he pops it foul over the Reds dugout. Ball, 2 strikes to Mike Lum. Geronimo down the line at third. The Reds have scored 4 times. The pitch. Swung on, hit for left field, and Bobby Tolan almost misplayed that one. Going away from the infield, and Bob reaches above his head and makes the catch. So in the inning, the Reds pick up 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. The end of 7. The Reds 4, the Phillies 3. Now, the 7-inning totals look like this. The Phillies 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Reds 4 runs, just 4 hits, and 1 error. They lead it 4-3. New pitcher on the mound for the Reds, Raleigh Eastwick. The leadoff batter for the Phillies in the 8th, Dick Allen. To tell you about it, here's Marty.
Okay, Joe, Raleigh Eastwick, the man who was named the National League Fireman of the Year for 1976 for the job that he did for our ball club. And now called upon to try and nail down our 2nd straight National League flag as the Reds have scored 4 times in the 7th inning and enjoy a 1-run edge over the Philadelphia Philly club. Eastwick makes his 2nd appearance. His first one was, quite frankly, nothing to write home about. Saturday night at Veterans Stadium, he came on in the 9th inning after Don Gullett had allowed only 2 hits and 1 run in 8 innings, and the Phillies promptly got to Eastwick for 4 hits in that one frame and a couple of runs before he was finally able to end the game on Tommy Hutton's line out to Griffey in right center. Joe Morgan is in behind the mound talking with Raleigh. And it'll be Dick Allen who will open up the 8th inning for Philadelphia. He slide to center, fly to right. And in the 6th inning, out of base on balls. Allen waving the bat around at home plate as Eastwick stares in for the sign from bench, and here comes the pitch. Taken high, a fastball. Allen, Johnstone, and Boone in this Philadelphia 8. Allen takes one on the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dick Allen. Eastwick, our 4th pitcher. Nolan went 5 2/3. Sarmiento an inning. Borbon a 1/3 of an inning. Swing at him. Borbon would stand to get the win in this game. While the defeat, if the score right now as it presently stands holds up, would go to Ron Reed. 1-2 delivery. That's up again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Philadelphia's had hits in every inning with the exception of the first when Nolan retired the side in order. The 2-2 to Allen. He swings and fouls this one off the end of the bat, so the count holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Philadelphia got a run in the second and the fourth inning on back-to-back doubles by Schmidt and Luzinski. Scored twice in the seventh off Sarmiento. Allen hits a high fly ball off the right field line, but that one's going to carry back into the seats. In the seventh inning, Boa got a walk. Cott laid down a sacrifice, and after Cash flied out, Maddox and Schmidt had doubles back-to-back to increase their lead to 3-0. But then the Reds, sending 8 men to the plate in the bottom of that same seventh inning, scored 4 times, with a big blow being Geronimo's 2-run triple. A right three swinger. Dick Allen really went to spinning on Raleigh Eastwick and came away with nothing. Here's Johnstone. To get your copy of the Reds Playoff Program, send $2.50 to Reds Playoff Program, Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. Price includes $1 postage handling charge. Johnstone, a bunt single and 2 times up. He's also walked. He looks at the heater high and outside. Ball 1. That's a strike call. The crowd pretty much roaring on every single thing that the Reds do right. You can anticipate that from here on out on this one. Swung on, hit hard, and took a big hop off Perez, and the ball bounces into the seats in foul territory. That ball really came up on Tony. Kicked into the seats down beyond our dugout on that big hop, and Johnstone gets credit for a ground rule double. So Jay Johnstone continues to swing a most potent bat for the Phillies. He now is leading in the series in terms of base hits. That's his 6th hit. Here's Bob Boone. A fly ball to left, a pop out to bench, a fly ball to center. He swings and fouls. The Phillies have the tying run at second base with 1 man out. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Reds lead it 4-3. From Eastwick to Boone. That one bounces up there, a wild one, and that's going to allow the runner to go to third. Well, Raleigh Eastwick uncorks a wild pitch at a most inopportune time, because now, rather than needing a base hit to get the tying run in, as Raleigh has wild pitched Johnstone to third, it opens up a multitude of doors for the Phillies to get the tying run across. Put the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on Boone. And the Reds infield is going to be playing in now. So Eastwick has his work cut out for him. Runner at third, 1 man out. And time called as Concepcion and Morgan confer. Eastwick looking around to find out exactly what's going on. And what's going on is Will McInerney is going to go down to begin loosening up in our bullpen. They have somebody joining. The 1-1 pitch to Boone. That's just off the plate. Ball 2. Well, the inning started with a strikeout of Allen, but then the Johnstone line drive that took a hop, hit off Perez into the seats down beyond the dugout for a double. He goes to third on the wild pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. You got Boa on deck. And after him, it would be Bobby Tolan. Eastwick badly in need of a strike to Boone. As the right-handed batter waits, checks his swing, and he's on with a walk. Phillies have an opportunity here. Runners at first and third. Sparky Anderson standing to the left of the opening in the Cincinnati dugout, but certainly not nearly ready to go down to his bullpen. And besides that, Boa's a switch hitter. He's got McInerney throwing, but Mac has only been up for a couple of minutes now, and you might consider this a bit of a stalling tactic as Eastwick talks with Concepcion, Morgan, and bench. Now we're going to get a pinch runner at first base. Terry Harmon is going to run for Bob Boone. Boa has gone 0 for 2. He walked his last time up in the 7th inning and scored a run. And now Tim McCarver will start loosening up in the Philadelphia bullpen, with Boone having been lifted for the pinch runner Harmon at first base. Concepcion, Morgan at double play depth. Rose playing shallow at third. Here's a pitch to Boa. He takes a strike. Larry has not yet had a hit. In the 3 games, he started all of them at shortstop, has gone 0 for 7. He swings and hits one down the left field line. Foster running hard, pulls up, can't find it. The ball goes by. Here comes a tying run across. Coming on to third base is Harmon. And on the double to left field that apparently Foster lost in the sun, that opening above the stadium with the sunlight streaming through, Larry Boa has double homed the tying run. And the Phillies have 2 in scoring position for Bobby Tolan. So Philadelphia has come valiantly back. This club, of course, can ill afford to lose another one. If they do, they go home and forget about it. And after leading 2-0 for 6.5 innings, to see the Reds take a run lead on 4 in the 7th, and now Philadelphia's come back. On a double by Johnstone, a wild pitch, a walk to Boone, and the 2-base hit to left field by Boa to tie it up. Bobby Tolan will be at the plate. The man who misplayed Geronimo's fly ball in the last inning into a triple. And they're going to walk Tolan with first base open and pitch to Davy Cash with the bases loaded. This will be the second walk of the inning allowed by Eastwick. Tolan in the process of getting an intentional walk that would fill the bases with Phillies. There's ball 4 as Bobby flips the bat away and heads on down to first. There are a lot of other guys you would like to see at the plate in this situation besides the man standing in there now. Cash is 1 for 4, a third inning single to right. 4 for 13 in the League Championship Series, and a chance here to get his Philadelphia club out in front. Harmon third, Boa second, Tolan first. Perez playing inside, Tolan at first base. Rose even with a bag at third. Cash taking his time stepping in. He's ready. Eastwick a glance to third and the pitch to the plate. Cash takes a strike. The tying run is in with only 1 out. Cash in the strike 1 delivery. Swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play. 0-2. Phillies have out-hit us 10-4, but the score is tied at 4 runs apiece. Up high, bench taking a look to third to see what Harmon's doing, but instead sends the ball back to the mound. McEnany continues to throw in our bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dave Cash. Bench hanging a sign. Eastwick winds, kicks, and fires. That's up and in. 2-2. Raleigh having trouble controlling his fastball. Cash calls time with Stello at the plate. Collects his thoughts, takes that big, settling, deep breath. Puts the head of the bat on the plate and now starts to wave it around. Eastwick with a look. Over at third to Harmon, the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Low and outside. So Raleigh Eastwick is absolutely as far as he can go with Davy Cash. Nowhere to put him. 3 balls and 2 strikes with the bases loaded, and here comes the payoff. He swings and he fouls it back. Gary Maddox is on deck. And you can bet that the Phillies would take a bases-loaded walk right here and be happy with it. The payoff. Foul ball off to the right and well back behind the Cincinnati dugout. So Eastwick finding the strike zone, but Cash making them meaningless pitches with foul backs. It stays 3-2 as the outfield plays a right-handed batting Cash the other way. Again, the 3-2 pitch. He swings and hits one into right center field. That's going to be deep enough to get Harmon in. Griffey makes the catch. The runner at third tags and comes on home, with Boa moving up a base to third, and Philadelphia has regained the lead at 5-4. Tolan holding his ground at first base on Cash's sacrifice fly to right. And now Gary Maddox, a batter, but he has started back toward the Philadelphia dugout as Larry Shepard heads on toward the mound, and we'll take the opportunity to pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
This is the voice of Madisonville Sports. 93.9 on your dial. WFMW FM, Madisonville.
Larry Shepard coming back to the dugout. Only a quick meeting with Raleigh Eastwick, but we note that Santo Alcala has joined Will McEnany in the Cincinnati bullpen. Gary Maddox 1 for 4, a run-scoring double in the 7th inning. Now we've got an appeal play at second base, or do we? Morgan takes a throw back that way, but apparently not. Raleigh might have thought so, but Joe waving him off as Eastwick threw the ball. Now it's Maddox with Boa third, Tolan first. Now we'll try it again. And Doug Harvey calls safe. Philadelphia with 2 here in the 8th inning to again lead by 1 at 5-4. Eastwick needs to get Maddox to end the inning. Pitch. Swing and a miss. You're thinking about the home 8th inning. We've got Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. They'll be hitting off of Ron Reed. Maddox swings and pops it in the air to center field. Geronimo loping in. Still on the move. Squeezes it for the inning-ending out. The Phillies with 2 runs on 2 base hits. They strand a pair. In the middle of the 8th, Philadelphia 5 and Cincinnati 4. Here's Pete Rose to lead off the home 8th inning. The pitch is fouled off. We've got Johnny Oates now catching for Philadelphia. Bobby Tolan has moved from left field to play first base, and it looks like Jerry Martin is in left field. The 0-1 to Rose. Swung on, a looper down the left field line. That's got a chance. That's going to be in for a base hit. Here's Martin. Here's Rose taking a turn. He'll settle for a single. Well, I'll tell you, the 2 aces of the respective bullpens in this game, Ron Reed and Raleigh Eastwick, have not been exactly what you would call exemplary. Reed has had his problems, and Eastwick had a world of them in the top of this 8th. Griffey is 1 for 3, an infield hit to start off that 4-run 7th. He checks his swing on a pitch high, a ball. Rose at first. We've got the tie and run on with nobody out. Griffey swings and pops it up off the third base foul line where Schmidt settles under it and makes the catch. 1 down. Joe Morgan will be the batter. Still without a hit in this championship series today has popped to second, has grounded to second. In the 7th inning, he walked and scored. Oates has gone out to talk with Reed as Cash says something to his double play partner, shortstop Larry Boa. Reed to Morgan. Oh, no, a call strike on the inside corner, and Joe's going to question that one. Infield looking for the ground ball. Morgan swings on this pitch, and that'll be a foul off to the left, and Reed with the advantage at 2 strikes. We have had 8 runs scored in the last inning and a half after Philadelphia got 1 run in the 4th inning. And going to the 7th inning, it was 1-0. It's now 5-4 Phillies. Morgan strikes out swinging. 2 away for Tony Perez. Tony has had 2 hits, both singles. He knocked home a run in the 7th. Now 2 for 9 in the series with 3 runs knocked in. This is a mighty, mighty big inning for Reed and the Phillies if they can get through it. Ball is down and away. So Reed, who going to the top of the 8th inning was a losing pitcher, right now can pick up the victory. He'll throw to first as Rose steps back. 2 men out, 1 man on, 1-0 to count. Reed kicks and throws. Perez takes a change and in for a strike. Ball 1, strike 1. Quite a ball game today, and this one an extension of what we saw between the two clubs during regular season play. Swing and a miss. Perez trying to drop one into the seats in left field. And it's Reed with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Reds' first baseman. Foster is on deck. Check of Rose and a throw that way. Wayne Twitchell, a right-hander, gets ready for Philadelphia. It's all quiet in the Cincinnati bullpen. That's low. 2-2. Starting pitchers in this game, Gary Nolan, he went 5 2/3, had to leave because of an injury. Jim Cott, 6+. Tony with a drive to left field. Jerry Martin going back. He's going to have room and makes the catch just short of the warning track. In the 8th for Cincinnati, no runs, a hit with a man left, and we move to the 9th inning, a 1-run game. It's Philadelphia 5 and Cincinnati 4. Now we're in the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies with a run edge on the Reds, 5-4 the score. Raleigh Eastwick out there to be working to Mike Schmidt. Ron Reed is then scheduled to hit. He was moved into the spot formerly held by Greg Luzinski when he came on to pitch in the 7th inning, and then Dick Allen. Nobody is throwing down there for the Phillies, so we would assume that Reed would bat for himself. Schmidt has had an excellent day. He has doubled twice and single and 4 trips and has knocked home a run as well as scoring one. Had a rough first 2 games, going only 1 for 8, but today has been right in the thick of the Philadelphia offense. Eastwick pitches, and Schmidt swings and hits a very, very high pop. Back of third, Davey in the Cincinnati, the Philadelphia bullpen, and who will catch it? It'll be Concepcion with Foster right behind him on the pitching mound in the Philadelphia pen. One away, and Ron Reed is in. It's the first time at the plate for him. Big, tall, 6'7" right-handed batter. He fouls it to the screen, a strike. At the bottom of the 9th inning, Cincinnati will be sending forth George Foster, Johnny Bench, and Davey Concepcion. Well, we got to hold him right here and keep it at 1. Low for a ball, 1-1. Jerry Martin is on deck. That is swung on and fouled, pitched down and away, and Reed never came close to it. So Eastwick had 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the few times in the last 3 innings that there has not been somebody throwing in one or the other of the bullpens. A bouncing ball to third, Rhodes charges, plays it chest high, and throws him out. Here's Jerry Martin. Martin in for the first time. He came on to play left field when Bobby Tolan moved to first base, replacing Allen in the bottom of the 8th. Not only the first time up in the game, but the first time up for Martin in the playoffs. That one bounces up and off the face mask of Johnny Bench. Ball 1. Philadelphia trying to send it to a 4th game that would be played here tomorrow night. 8:15 would be game time with Steve Carlson going against Don Gullett. Ground ball, Rose backhands at third. Long throw. He did not get him as he threw it in the dirt. The ball bounced away from Perez. Well, that should be a throwing error, but let's see how they score it. Rose had plenty of time to play it, and he is charged with an error, the second of the game against Cincinnati. So Jay Johnstone will bat with 2 out as Martin reaches on Rose's throwing error from third base. Phillies have had 10 hits in the game. Johnstone has had a pair. A bunt single, a 2-base hit, a weird double, In the 8th inning, he hit a line drive that took a big hop, went off Perez, and on the bounce, went all the way into the seats down beyond our dugout. Johnstone getting credit for a ground rule double. Good hitter, this man. Martin with a lead against a holding Perez. Pitch. Low and inside a ball. Two down in the top of the 9th inning. That one is fouled away as it bounces back behind the plate and comes to rest at the base of the screen. Making a ball and 1 strike on Jay Johnstone. And you've got Tug McGraw back throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen. Johnstone tries to shoot one the other way, but instead lines it back behind the Philadelphia dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morgan deep at second base. Concepcion pulled toward the bag. Here's a pitch. That's up high, 2-2. Easily trying to finish off the Phillies here in the 9th and hope that his teammates can come up with a pair of runs. Runner going, pitch is swung on, bouncing ball. Morgan cannot play it. It goes to right center field. Let's see if they're going to send Martin home. They are, and he'll score as Geronimo can't come up cleanly with it. A big run right there for Philadelphia. With a runner breaking, Jay Johnstone banged one behind the outstretched glove of Joe Morgan. The ball hit well, rolling deep into the right center field gap. Geronimo tried to backhand and come up throwing, but he could not find a handle on it. With Martin scoring easily and Johnstone going to third base. That'll be scored a triple, and the Phillies lead by 2. So the error by Pete Rose with 2 outs proves to be a glaring one. That'll be an unearned run, but a run nevertheless, and you can bet a big one for the Phillies. Here is Johnny Oates, left-handed batting catcher. Grounds one by the mound, but Morgan will play it and throw him out to end the inning. The Phillies get 1 run on 1 hit. 1 error with 1 left. And after 8 1/2, Philadelphia 6, Cincinnati 4. We're in the home 9th inning, and the Cincinnati Reds need 2 runs to get even. It is 6-4 Phillies, and it'll be Foster, bench, Concepcion against Ron Reed. The big guy had 1 bad inning when he came out in the 7th. The Reds getting half of their 4 runs in that frame off of Reed, with the other 2 being charged to the starter, Jim Cott. But then in the 8th inning, after Rose led off with a single to left, he popped Griffey up. He got Morgan swinging, and he retired the side on a Perez fly ball to left. Danny Ozark, not leaving anything to chance, is going to have a right-hander and a left-hander throwing. Wayne Twitchell, the righty, Tug McGraw, the lefty. Foster, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly, has not had a good playoff. He's 1 for 11. But earlier today, it was announced from St. Louis he is the Sporting News National League Player of the Year in a lopsided vote on the part of the players in our league. Bluffs a bunt, takes a strike. Ron Reed back to the plate. Foster takes a change inside, 1-1. Now the 55,047 here today, the largest championship series crowd ever in Cincinnati. 5th largest crowd at Riverfront, and the 6th championship series sellout in this stadium. Swing and a miss. Tried to check his swing, couldn't do it on a breaking pitch out away from him. Jack Billingham and Will McInerney comprise a double-barrel action in our bullpen. Reed with the advantage on Foster. Oates sends out the sign. Reed sends in the pitch. He swings and fouls it out of play to the right. Tug McGraw has finished throwing, and to take over for him is going to be left-hander Tommy Underwood, whom we have not seen in this series. Again, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fly ball, back into deep left center, and you can chalk that one up. It's gone for a home run. Begin an inning in which you need a couple of runs to get even. That's one of them on 1 swing of the bat as Foster takes Ron Reed downtown for his second league championship home run of 76. Now Johnny Bench. John has hit into a double play. He's fly to center. He has walked and he has scored. Mike Schmidt is on the mound talking with Reed. 6-5 Phillies. Reed to Bench. That misses low, a ball. Gene Garber, Tommy Underwood, the two throwing for the Phillies. Reed's 1-0 to John. Swung on and popped up off the third. Mike Schmidt down beyond their dugout, but watches it fall about 8 rows back. A ball and a strike. Bench with a couple of homers during the season against Philadelphia pitching. Among his 12 hits, he also had 5 doubles. Swings, and he fouls at the plate. He's behind at 1-2. That was the count. And the pitch that Foster took Reed downtown on. And right now, that unearned run for the Phillies in the top of this inning proves to be the big one. That one's bounced foul. Reed trying to hang on. Foster led off the inning with a homer to left center. 6-5, Philadelphia. The home run, only the 6th Reds hit in the game. The Phillies have had 11 on the other hand. Bench is back in, and Reed serves it up. Swung on, fly ball, deep left center field. Maddox on the warning track, looking up. It's gone! Johnny Bench for the home run to left center, and the Reds have tied it up on back-to-back ninth-inning home run. They're on their feet in Riverfront as first George Foster and now Johnny Bench have had back-to-back long balls, and it is tied at 6 runs apiece. What a ball game. Reed has not been able to retire a batter. Foster took it downtown to left center, and Bench went to deep left center field. Davey Concepcion will come to the plate, but Ron Reed is going to be visited by pitching coach Ray Ripplemeyer. And the crowd is still standing and applauding. 55,000 and change. Ripplemeyer make it Danny Ozark, and normally when the Philadelphia skipper comes out, he wants to make a pitching change. He's got Underwood, he's got Garber, and I would imagine it would be Gene Garber to come out and face Concepcion as Reed is now gone. Well, in a situation like this, or going into a bottom of the ninth, you think about it, certainly, when you have the type of people as George Foster and Johnny Bench. But to see it become a reality in a pressure situation such as this is a little bit mind-boggling. And the crowd is still standing as Garber has reached the Riverfront Stadium mound to confer with his manager before starting his warm-ups to Johnny Oates. Jack Billingham and Will McInerney throwing down to Bill Plummer and Gary Waits. That's the Reds bullpen. Left-hander Tommy Underwood loosening up for Philadelphia. Garber, we have seen in Sunday's game when he went 2/3, giving up a hit and an unearned run with an intentional walk. So this will be his second appearance. Now, Ron Reed cannot win it. And at least for the moment, Raleigh Eastwood cannot lose it. And the crowd's still standing. George Foster and Johnny Bench lit them up. Back-to-back home runs off Ron Reed to make it 6-5 and 6-6. Garber, 9 wins and 3 losses with a 2.81 ERA. Gave up 78 hits in 93 innings during the season with 92 strikeouts and only 30 walks. He had a good season. But normally, the Reds find this guy somewhat easy to hit at. Let's see if that's true now. Mike Schmidt is talking all the while that Garber is warming up to Johnny Oates. Let's take a look and see exactly what Garber did against us. In 8 appearances, he had no record. In 8 innings, giving up 11 hits and 4 runs. And a home run to George Foster way back on the 18th of June. He saved 2 games. He is not in a saving situation now unless you would categorize a save as getting the Phillies out of this ninth and sending it to extra innings. And I think under the circumstances, you could do exactly that. Concepcion is up. He is 0 for 3. Has bounced to short twice, has popped to second base. Garber bends at the waist to get the sign. He winds and he pitches. Concepcion, a bouncing ball, base hit to left field. Davey jumping on Garber's first pitch and singles to left, and there is the run that, if it scores, will give the Reds the National League pennant. It will be Cesar Geronimo, who in the 7th inning sent the Reds out in front with a 2-run triple to left field. Many are still standing, and more are coming up now as Mike Schmidt concludes his remarks to Gene Garber. And Danny Ozark heading back to the mound to bring on left-hander Tom Underwood. So Tommy Underwood being called upon to pitch to Geronimo. Danny Dreesen has already moved on deck to hit for Raleigh Eastwick. And this one has really turned into be some kind of classic playoff game. Philadelphia led 1-0 in a game that was a pitcher's duel involving Nolan and Jim Cott. And Philadelphia seemed to really gain some insurance with a couple of runs in the 7th inning off Manny Sarmiento, but then it was the Reds' turn. After being held to 1 hit through 6, they sent 8 batters to the plate, scoring 4 times in the 7th inning, only to see Philadelphia get to Eastwick for 2 runs in the 8th to lead 5-4. The Phillies with an unearned run in the 9th inning, created by a 2-out throwing error on Jerry Martin's ground ball by Pete Rose and a triple to right center by Jay Johnstone. But here in the 9th inning, home runs back-to-back by Foster and Bench, and Concepcion with a first-pitch single to left field off Gene Garber. It is going to be Tommy Underwood, who had a good year, winning 10, losing 5, with a .352 earned run average. He'll be facing Geronimo, who, as we said, has had the 1 hit and 3 trips, but that a big 7th inning triple. So Danny Ozark pulling out all stops. But it would appear from the inactivity in the Philadelphia bullpen that he's gone as far as he's going to go, because as Underwood comes in, we mentioned Dreesen as being on deck. Danny has retired to the dugout, and right-handed batting Bob Bailey has moved on deck. Underwood worked in 3 games against the Reds, 2 as a starting pitcher, had a record of 0-2. In 8 innings, gave up 14 hits and 10 runs. And Mike Schmidt doing the same thing with Underwood that he did with Garber, standing just off to the left of the mound as we look at it from behind home plate, conferring with the young left-hander from Kokomo, Indiana. Wayne Twitchell, a right-hander, will begin loosening up for the field. There's Geronimo. Davey Concepcion leading at first base. Schmidt shallow at third. Underwood the check of the runner. The long pause. And now straddles the pitching rubber as Concepcion moves a step or 2 back toward the first base bag. It is 6-6 in the bottom of the 9th. The winning run is at first, nobody out. The pitch to Geronimo. He squares to bunt and takes it low for a ball. If the Reds should win this game, we will have a special announcement concerning World Series tickets immediately following. Geronimo takes it up and in, ball 2. So Tommy Underwood in a pressure cooker situation has not yet been able to get one into the strike zone against Geronimo, who is trying to get Concepcion to second. The 2-0 pitch. That is low, ball 3. Now you have to wonder if Geronimo should get a walk. Well, that Armbruster might possibly be sent up to hit for Bob Bailey to try and move him along. He does not have a bat in his hand down in the dugout, so apparently not. Geronimo turns in toward the mound, and the pitch, that's ball 4. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network.
With 30,000 watts of power, this is WFMW-FM Madisonville, voice of the world champion Cincinnati Reds in Western Kentucky.
Speculated correctly, because Armbruster is now in the on-deck circle. And I think there are 55,047 plus a whole dugout, the Philly dugout, and the entire Reds dugout who knows what this man is going to be up there doing. Danny Ozark is back on the mound. He's got his entire infield, all of them, Oates, Tolan, Cash, Boa, Schmidt, as well as Underwood, gathered around him, and George Scherger has gone out to second base to talk with Concepcion. Armbruster to bat for Raleigh Eastwood. One of the better bunters in Major League Baseball. We've seen him turn one in time and time again. Again, we remind you that no one is out. The winning run, the run that opens the door to our second straight National League pennant, and our 4th in 7 years, is standing at second in the person of Davy Concepcion. Schmidt is shallow at third. Tolan shallower at first. The pitch to Armbruster. He takes it inside for a ball. And Underwood has not yet thrown a strike, walking Geronimo on 4 straight and going 1-0 on Ed Armbruster. The young left-hander looking around now has a sign from Oates. The 1-0 pitch. The ball is bunted on a pop, and at third, not able to play it, is Mike Schmidt as he comes across the foul line. Now, we had something interesting developing at first base. Jay Johnstone ran all the way in from right field, apparently on a possible pickoff play with Johnny Oates, but it never materialized because Armbruster fouled it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Concepcion at second. Geronimo at first. 6-6 in the bottom of the 9th. Nobody out. Here's Underwood with a check in the pitch. Armbruster, third base line. Good bunt. Schmidt has it. Throws to first. He got the out. But a super bunt by Armbruster moves both runners up into scoring position. And you might say that somewhat fittingly, the man who can wrap it all up is at the plate in number 14, the captain of the Reds, third baseman Pete Rose. But I would not think that they're going to give Rose a chance to do a job on him. With first base open, I would imagine they'll walk Rose to get the left-handed batting Kenny Griffey. Let's see. That's exactly what they're going to do. Rose will get the walk to fill the bases and set up a double play possibility. And as Underwood starts into his stretch, he steps off the rubber because Boa had something for him. Here's ball 1 to Rose. And the crowd reacting as you might expect it would. With the game being played here in Cincinnati, they're not too happy about this, but, whoa, he almost threw it away. Tommy Underwood possibly showing the effects of maybe the most intense pressure this young man has ever been under on a ball field. We were trailing 6-4 going to the 9th. First Foster and then Bench cracked back-to-back home runs. Concepcion single off Garber to left. In came Underwood. Geronimo wanted to bunt, but he eventually walked, and Armbruster, hitting for Eastwick, has moved both runners into scoring position. The 2-0 pitch is ball 3 outside. They are now giving Pete Rose an intentional walk, and it's complete as ball 4 goes high and away, and Pete heads on down to first. So, the man who can wear the laurel of hero and end it, the young right fielder from Donora, Pennsylvania, who this year finished second in the National League batting race, Left-handed batting Ken Griffey, who today has had an infield hit and 4 times up. The infield is in, the outfield is in. Left-hander against left-hander with a National League pennant on the line for the Reds. Underwood stretches and pitches to Griffey. He takes it to throw to third, not in time to get Concepcion. George Scherger saying something to Davey, possibly admonishing him just a bit. Don't get such a lead that they've got a chance to pick you off. But a daring play by Oates, nevertheless. He throws that ball away, and the winning run is home. 1 ball and no strikes on Griffey. Underwood with a slow come down to the belt. He throws. Griffey swings. Slow chopper, right side. Here comes Concepcion. Tolan boots the ball. And the 1976 pennant belongs to the Reds. It was a high chop along the first baseline. Bobby Tolan could not come up with it cleanly. Concepcion scores, and it is pandemonium down on the field. As the Reds have scored 3 in the 9th inning, and have swept the Philadelphia Phillies to move into the 1976 World Series. The players are out in front of the dugout hugging each other. Cameramen are in the middle of the multitude. Fans standing all over the ballpark. As the Philadelphia Phillies went to the bottom of the 9th, leading by 2 runs, and boy, what a comeback by the Big Red Machine. 3 runs, and the Reds have won the 3rd and deciding game of this 1976 League Championship playoff against the Phillies. The final score, Reds 7, Phillies 6, and we'll be back in just a moment.
What's good and cold and loved all over? Stroh's 12-can Stay Cold pack. Because it's made to get 12 cans of Stroh's beer cold and to help keep them good and cold until you need them. And it's a neat package to have around. The cans are easy to get to. They roll right out when you need them. And you can dispose of the empties just by putting them back in the pack. For a party or picnic or any occasion where beer lovers gather, put a few Stroh's Stay Cold packs around. The beer stays cold and smooth and mellow. And it's right there at your fingertips when you're thirsting for a cool, fresh-tasting beer. So roll out the beer in Stroh's easy-to-carry compact Stay Cold 12-pack.
From one beer lover to another Stroh's beer. From one beer lover to another Stroh's.
The Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan. Family brewers for more than 200 years.
Well, the fans don't want to go home. They have seen the Reds win the National League pennant for the 4th time in 7 years on a bases-loaded 9th inning infield hit by Ken Griffey. And the Reds have defeated the Philadelphia Phillies in the minimum of this best 3 of 5 series, 7-6. 7 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, with 6 men left on for the Reds, while the Phils had 6 runs on 11 hits, no errors, and they stranded 10. The winning pitcher, Raleigh Eastwick. The loss went to right-hander Gene Garber, who faced only 1 batter, and that was Concepcion, who had the base hit following Foster and Bench's game-tying back-to-back home runs. And it was Davey who scored the winning run on Griffey's slow, high hopper on the right side of the infield that Tolan could not come up cleanly with. We mentioned the announcement, if the Reds win today, concerning World Series tickets. The Reds have announced that an over-the-counter sale of World Series tickets will be held at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning at Riverfront. The public sale will be held only at the advanced ticket windows on the west side of the stadium on the plaza level. A combined total of 5,000 tickets at various prices are available. Each person may purchase up to 4 tickets for 1 game only. To facilitate the over-the-counter sale, only cash will be accepted. Checks and credit cards will not be honored. The World Series is scheduled to open here in Cincinnati this weekend, with Game 1 scheduled at 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 16th, and Game 2 slated for 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, October 17th. Game 6 and 7, if needed, will be played at 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 23rd, and Sunday, October 24th at Riverfront Stadium. Wednesday sale will continue until all tickets are sold. This will complete the sale of all tickets for World Series games here in Cincinnati. What a thrilling finish to the League Championship Series as first Foster and then Bench crack home runs to begin the 9th off of Ron Reed to tie it up. And after that, it was a base hit by Concepcion, a walk to Geronimo, an outstanding sacrifice bunt by Armbruster, with the intentional walk forthcoming to Rose, and the infield hit to first base by Ken Griffey that wraps it all up for the Big Red Machine. We'd like to thank all our sponsors this season, each and every one of our network stations, and most importantly, you, our fans, who well, have made Reds Radio a part of your lives. We certainly appreciate all the cards and letters that we received over the course of the year. It's been another super season for Sparky Anderson's ball club, and our sponsors, our network stations, and our fans have meant so very, very much to us. You've been so kind, and we certainly hope that you have been rewarded with a kind of baseball that the Big Red Machine prides itself on. In just a short time, we'll be going down in the clubhouse for interviews. Joe Nuxall will be there to kick it off. I'll be joining him, and, well, you have to think there is jubilation right now because this is what this ball club went for. They have gained step 2 with step 3 to unfold at Riverfront Saturday afternoon, the first game of the 1976 World Series against either the New York Yankees or the Kansas City Royals. This broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by Cincinnati Reds Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated is prohibited. And now on most of these same stations, stay tuned for Joe Nuxall with the Star of the Game show. Again,
The clubhouse in Cincinnati Reds, rather quiet at the moment. We're very sure things will pick up very soon. And, well, that saying, the relentless Reds, and that they were this afternoon. And we have with us first Raleigh Eastwick. And Raleigh, not happy, but you are happy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still happy. It's always great to go to the World Series again. And although my performance was subpar, I think that combination of things in this playoff series for myself personally just didn't go right. I haven't felt well mechanically. My mechanics haven't been together the way I want to, and it's just a funny thing, you know. I didn't get a lot of work at the end of the season, and I don't think I threw enough. And I was bugging Shep all the time to throw, and I don't think they wanted me to throw much, but still I wanted to. My arm felt a little weak, but I still wanted to throw and build it up. But, you know, it's a funny way to win. You can pitch bad and win, and you can pitch great and lose. And it's a funny thing, the way this game is, and it's a great game, and I'm kind of glad the way it happened because it was so exciting for the fans.
Raleigh, you look at this afternoon, and really a ball game that typified pretty much the season for this ball club.
Oh, sure. It shows this club can never. We're never out till the last out is made, and this club just keeps coming back. In the ninth inning, the bottom of the ninth, we came back and said, well, we can still win. We're 2 runs down, but we've done it before, and we did it to Phillies before, and we can come back and win and beat them, and there was no problem. I don't think anybody really got down, and it's a crazy game, like I said before, and maybe it was meant to be that way.
Well, Raleigh, congratulations. We won it. That's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. That's all.
All right. Raleigh Eastwick and Joe Morgan now. And Joe, would you step into our office here, pal? How's it feel? Another one.
Well, this one feels as good as the other ones. You know, this is great because, you know, I feel like, you know, the guys, they really played well this week. You know, and I made a prediction a couple of days ago in Philadelphia before the series started. I said, you're going to see something really special from the Reds this week. And all the guys, they didn't know what I was talking about, the writers, but I had this in mind. I thought we could win 3 in a row because I thought we were the superior ball club. You know, on paper, they look like they're, you know, maybe close to us, but, you know, being honest, I thought that we'd been here before and our guys knew what we were supposed to do. And I felt like we were going to win. You know, when we beat Carlton the first night, I really thought we had a shot at 3 in a row.
Joe, you look at this game today, and I tell you, I'm still nervous. How about you?
Well, I'm not nervous, Joe. I didn't do a heck of a lot out there. But, you know, it was a fine ball game because both teams showed some character, you know, by coming back. The Phillies showed a lot of character there, getting those 2 runs in the 8th inning, 1 run in the 8th, 2 runs in the 8th inning to go ahead again, and then 1 run in the 9th. They showed a lot of character to come back under those circumstances. You know, our ball club, of course, showed a lot of character by coming back from a 3-0 deficit, and then again 6-4 deficit. So I think both ball clubs have a lot of character, and both teams have a very fine ball club. I just think, like I say, our experience and we have a few more intangible things I think pull us through in 3 games.
Joe, is there any part of the 3 games that stands out for you at all?
Yeah, 0 for 7. And the fact that they, you know, I got a lot of walks. I tried to do whatever I could, you know, in the 7th inning. I tried to get on base in any kind of way I could because, you know, I wasn't swinging the bat real well, and I just wanted to get on so Tony or John or somebody could pop one, of course, and they came back and we got 4 runs in that inning.
A lot of fun, isn't it?
Right, very much.
Joe, thank you. Go on with your celebration,
right,
partner.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be back in the Reds clubhouse after this word. Goal line stand here.
It looked like I was playing football instead of baseball, Joe. I got hit about 3 times today. You know, my boy James hit me on the shoulder and bounced in the stand. That was hit hard. I got in front of the ball. I got him on the way. We just hit that dirt and come up, and nothing I can do. I just tried to stop it.
How you feel?
Oh, I feel great, Joe. This is going to the World Series. We just now we have 4 more to go. It's what we had to win. 4 more to go.
Tony, you look at this afternoon's ball game, and just an unbelievable ball game. Both ball clubs, tremendous game.
Yes, sir. But, they give us hell today, Joe, really, because they got in front, and then they came back, and we go in front again. They came back. There's those kind of games we Phillies don't play all year. You just two good ball clubs come on, and everybody think the Phillies won't be down today, but they won't, and we just beat them because we scored more runs than they did.
Tony, the ball that hit you on the shoulder, Jay Johnstone's ball, did it hit the seam?
Yeah, no, I think he hit the dirt, Joe. He hit the dirt and came out right up. I didn't see it. After that, I tried to stop it, but they say it was too high.
Tony, this is the fifth time we've experienced this. Is this any different than the other four?
No, this is the same, Joe. I feel the same. We now have to go to the World Series and win 4 more, and then we have a big celebration, better than this one.
A little quiet yet, isn't it, in here?
Well, the guys still that drinking. They throwing away, but when they start drinking, that champagne start working out the beer. They're going to be funny here.
All right, Tony Perez. Tony, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
And here's Daddy Wags. What?
Good evening, Big Joe.
Congratulations on another one, Mr. Wagner.
Thank you. Well, it's a great ball game, and I'm particularly pleased for all of us. But I'm glad to see George powder one, and then I'm glad to see John get his due because he's been struggling some this year, but it's a fabulous thing for everybody, and I think particularly the fans. And we were really thrilled, I think, too, the behavior of our fans. They were rambunctious and good tonight, but we didn't have any problems after the game on the field, and it just shows you what a great community we have and what a great bunch of people, everybody. So,
Dick, I guess if you'd like to have a ballpark that would seat 1 million people probably for the fans here.
Well, real honestly, we would, and it's awfully sad. We've tried to answer our letters about ticket problems, and we are going to put some tickets on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. here at the stadium, and we just try to be fair and get as many tickets as we can across to the people, and I hope that everybody will try to understand. I would imagine, honestly, we could have sold 150,000 tickets seats a game. And it's just one of those things, but I know that everybody's pleased that we won.
We're very happy, Dick. Congratulations.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Dick Wagner has been with us, and now, if we could, right now we'll go back for a commercial. We'll be back here in the Reds clubhouse in just a minute.
At the Anton Airport.
With us now, and Spark, do you really believe it?
Oh, I believe in these guys. I'll tell you that, Joe. Somebody said about a month ago they were giving out some gifts or something, and somebody said, how come you didn't get one? I said, I got the greatest gift and the longest gift 7 years ago from Bob Howsam. I don't need no gifts, Joe.
After George hit the home run, what were your feelings? We were 1 down.
Okay, I said, oh, God, that's a fluke play that hurt us. Ball just being split in the middle down there that John Stone hit. I said, that could hurt us. But then I thought about the one that John hit against Pittsburgh. I swear to God I did, Joe. I said, if he just gets the ball out over that plate, he want to hit him out of here. And when he hit the ball, I knew it was gone. I said, it's tied, boys.
And then Davey comes up and immediately singles.
Well, the same thing Tony did, if you remember. Right after John hit the home run against Pittsburgh, Tony came up and drove one up through the middle. I knew we had him. I swear, once we tied it, I knew we had him beat.
Spark, did you have any idea of sending David?
Yeah, we talked about we were going to send him. If it ever got a strike on Eddie, on Cesar, Cesar was going to turn around and look at me. If I went to my hat, he was hitting and David was gone. And he just never got a strike on him.
All right, this is number 5 for you. Is this different?
No different, Joe. As you know, each one to say, I think I'm quieter about it now. Maybe it's old age, Joe. But the only thing I'd say, inside the thrill, nobody will know that unless they've been there. You can tell people about it, all the writers and everybody in the world, but you know because you was in a uniform, it's something different. The fans don't know that.
Right. Spark, there's one thing. When you brought Raleigh in and pinch hit for Pedro, was there any, did you have anything in mind there?
And nothing in mind, Joe, except Raleigh's closed out all year, and I said he's going to close them out. When he struck the first guy out, I said, oh, man, we're home. And then that bad bounce to Tony, and we got some breaks, and they did. It was one of those games of both breaks, but the best team won the National League pennant, and there's no question about it. Not even a doubt in anybody's mind.
What time's the workout tomorrow?
No workout tomorrow, Joe. No workout tomorrow, because I don't think I'd have any players to work out. Hey, quit.
Spark, congratulations, pal, and good luck in the series.
Let me say this, Joe, so all the people out there know. Joe Nuxall, there's 25, and Nuxall's 26, and he's part of it.
Well, thank you very kindly. Sparky Anderson. Spark, of course, is 5th pennant in the National League. We'll be back with more now we'll wrap it up right now, and we'll be back here in the clubhouse, but right now, we'll be back with Marty Brenneman's scores and comments in just a couple of minutes.
Yes. I'm going to get even with you. Hello again, everybody. We're back in the Reds clubhouse where the Cincinnati Reds will wrap up the National League pennant today with a 7-6 win over the Philadelphia Phillies, scoring 3 times in the 9th inning. 2 of them on back-to-back home runs by George Foster and Johnny Bench to win the 4th National League flag in the last 7 years.